Little Chad and Slender Dad, they the truest of kin, streaming on Friday nights where the realness begin. They dive deep in pop culture, from cinema to play. On YouTube they ride waves, never following the cliche. Brahma bull, he's swirling wisdom in his cup. Machismo spitting facts like a fire spark. Lil Chad, he the monarch of movie lore. Slender Dad's blade cuts through, getting chat to roar. It's action mixed with laughter that's gonna cling. Pop culture poppin' with a vibe that's king. They paint a picture vivid with each episode, a symphony of culture in the streaming abode. Ascendant art, it's time we commence. With laughter and knowledge we end ignorance. Pop some popcorn, settle in and witness the show. The finest dream you'll see on your screen, you should know.
Was a throwback.
I told you I don't know where all the rest of them are because when we
That's
lost
one of my
Extreme
favorite
Art-
ones anyway. I really like that one.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good.
Welcome to the episode 166 of the Ascendant Art podcast, brought to you by Doge, otherwise known as the government Department of Government Efficiency, or how little Chad lost his job.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, buddy.
It's all right. I support them in principle, so it would be bad if I tried to do
that really hurts my my argument with Shredda about getting out of academia.
No, I mean it depends on what job. I mean, we lost the contractor I work for is lost a good amount. They may have been involved in activities that are verboten by the Trump administration in terms of what their contracts were developing and writing for the government. So it happens. Anyway, it'll be fine. I get a severance package.
Oh, nice.
Try to get. It's not like
no, we're going to Vegas.
Forever.
I still think you should take this chance to go to Vegas.
No, not that Vegas. We're going to do our own Vegas.
There's not more than one
What
Vegas.
the hell is our own Vegas?
We're going to do our own Vegas trip, dude. We need a baby named Carlos, a tiger, and just.
I will volunteer to get punched in the face by Mike Tyson.
What? Well, I guess modern day Tyson. Oh, I don't
get
know.
yourself out there, Chad, and you can stay with me.
Then it's
just travel cost.
I'm still cool to move in with you though, right?
Sure.
With me? Yeah.
Yeah. No, not you, Brahma. Unless we're moving into the Brahma estate.
Why not?
The Brahma compound.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give you a plot out here at my bunker.
No, no. I don't want to have to memorize a map of where not to step.
Where the minefield is.
I already showed you the map. You said you were good.
Mad doesn't want to have to be like, walking around like you're the dude in A Working Man that Jason Statham goes to visit.
I mean, listen, once you get here, I will send you the new map once a week. As long as you've loaded the proper encryption keys, you'll be able to decode the map and understand where not to walk.
No, I don't want to have to do a call and response every time I go to a new room in the house.
Flash.
Wait, what is it?
You didn't say anything.
Just like in the game. Jump, Mad. I don't know if you're an imposter.
It works though.
Is he out of jail yet?
Which
no,
person?
I don't even know if he's still in
developer.
jail.
Have you asked?
You think I know the guy?
Dude, slide into his DMs and figure out if he's ever going to
does he
update
have
that game.
DMs? I'll do it. I'm looking him up right now.
Does he have a Discord? Is there a Nuclear Nightmare Discord?
There might be.
A Nuclear Nightmare Discord.
Anyway, we got a show, and
We
we started
do.
it without you guys. We actually weren't late, Boosh. We just started the show before you guys.
We just forgot to actually hit the start button because, as we said in the description, we're talking about. We've got a bunch of good shows that we had. I remember it was like a month ago that the
No.
the
We've
trailer-
got one good show.
We've
Yeah.
got theoretically multiple shows.
This is true. So, a month ago or so, we got trailers for a couple shows that which we're excited about. I posted a trailer for Mobland, and Mad responded, "Did you see this one for Bondsman? Because I think that one looks
Okay,
good."
fuck no.
Whoa, man! Was that your slop for the pile?
No, mine was the Edward. No, what's his name that did the raid with Tom Hardy? That was my suggestion.
No, I can pull
Yes.
up the friggin' chat. I posted
tape?
them.
You don't have to
You wanna
do
check
any of that.
tape?
Don't share our. Don't you leak our DMs?
I'm not
don't
leaking
leak
the
DMs.
DMs.
The
I'm not
DMs are
Feels like he's
sacred.
about to leak my DMs.
I'm not
I do
leaking
not
any.
consent.
I'm definitely one for consent, so we're not going to do that. So, but all right, an unnamed person of Cheesemo just posted
Oh,
the Bondsman trailer and said we should watch that one. And our first clue, by the way, that Bondsman was not going to be that great is that it's an Amazon show. And Matt almost sends a message. They dropped the entire season. So,
Yeah, I was
when-
like, this
They're not
doesn't
wheel
look
of
good.
timing it. They're not rigs of powering it.
when every other Amazon
I hope
show,
that's not a bad sign.
when
Well,
every
Matt,
every other Amazon show has just flipped to weekly releases now. They either drop a couple episodes at the start and then it's all weekly. Mad, how about you share what your thoughts were actually watching it?
Well, all right. The thing I can say, what did I say? The dialogue, I think, is the worst part of it, and is made that much worse, like because he does. Kevin Bacon has this Georgian accent that is horrible. I was scrolling on Twitter like halfway through the second episode.
I don't even know if it qualifies.
That-
Like it's allegedly
It's
from
just-
Georgia,
It's
but
just
it's
hick.
not. It's just him doing like I'm a hick dude from.
They're
the
all just
South.
trying to be a hick.
it's ridiculous because the first thing he does is he goes up to collect the guy who jumped bail or whatever, and he's like, "It's me, the bondsman. Come out here with your hands up."
Actually, I thought the opening scene,
You
the
son of
cold
a
open
bitch.
of the first episode, was about the only cool part of the show, where he gets killed.
You
I
said
didn't
you
think
would say
was
that
cool
after.
at all.
But
I
after
thought that
you
was the
guys' accents.
stupidest thing in the freaking world. Like,
No, it's because Brahma has
took-
been assaulted by hornets, so he personally
oh,
felt
he personally
seen by
felt
that.
that scene.
It's true.
Yeah, he's like, I get it.
I was
feel
like, this is
seen.
the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. If they have a can of Raid in there, this whole plan is fucked.
It's a motel. Why would they have a can of Raid in there?
Why wouldn't you? Have you been to some cheap motels? I would take a can of Raid.
I don't know. Show's bad though.
I don't. Would
Mhm.
Raid do? Would even that was a hornet's nest? I don't think Raid would do
Yeah,
anything.
you need Raid for.
I had a
flying
hornet's
insects.
nest in the wall of my house a couple years ago, and guess what I dealt with it with? Believe me, they all
Raid
died.
Bug
for
assault?
hornets?
Yeah. No, I didn't use bug salt. I didn't have a bug gun.
The one thing that Slender's
bug-
missing out there in the compound.
It's the one thing I'm missing.
With maximum penetration.
He's like, I have an actual. The brightest
Funny-
thunder's like, can't use that in the house anymore.
No, but funny
Burn
that
one
Slender
curtain.
brings up. Funny Slender brings up maximum penetration. How do you deal with hornets in Texas, Brahma?
Well, after you let them penetrate
This
you,
dude,
then
I'll tell you
get a
how
whole
he
bunch
dealt
of
with it, 'cause I-
spray.
No.
He's like,
No,
come,
that-
come,
I'm
Hornet,
going to nope
stab
because
me
I
in the
walked
neck
out.
over. All right, so you walked out. Go ahead.
Mad.
Let me tell you, the next day, rag.
We
That-
missed all of that.
Did it? I think it. Yeah. Did Shredda
That's
still
how he
not let
dealt
you
with
have
it.
good internet?
Wait, what's happening?
You are turning into
You're
Domo
roboting,
Arigato,
and we
Mr.
missed everything you
Roboto.
said.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
He can't
Okay.
hear us either.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yep.
No, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
you're not responding like
Can you hear me now?
can. Yes,
I
we
don't-
hear you.
Oh, okay. Then.
Re-
That's all I need.
Just reload.
So everything's good?
Great show today, everybody.
It is exactly what you'd expect on the day I'm getting unemployed. So there you go. It's what you'd expect.
It's
Perfect.
all falling apart, man.
We worked hard on this.
It's like,
There he is.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, as I was saying, the next day I walked out and I see Brahma standing on a chair with a rag or a t-shirt slapping at him because they're coming from behind the clock on the wall. That's how he deals with them.
Yeah, but then I took down the clock. And then I killed them.
It
was-
was
It was a fun adventure taking the clock off the wall where the hive was in the recess behind the clock on the wall. They were not happy. I
They
was almost
generally aren't
penetrated
when you do
again.
that.
Oh, I can do that?
this is in your channel, so yeah, I mean your studio.
Oh, are we in mine?
Yes.
Do you
When did you start using mine?
last week,
Last
and you
week.
didn't show up.
do you not listen ever?
To
Yeah, we had a whole discussion about how I
You were
couldn't
the one
end
who
stream,
offered.
and it
You
made me
said-
really angry.
Oh.
Yes,
And
Slender
it
was
looks
very
like based
upset
on
that
the
I'm in
setup-
the co-host spot.
It looks like based on the setup, I still can't end the stream.
Because
I feel
Mad
like
would
I'm
have to.
replaced.
Yeah, I get that.
Makes me sad. But I'm gonna be nice and stick around because Chad's having a bad day.
I can fix
And
it.
you
I
already
mean-
walked out of one show this week.
It's true. I
Oh,
kinda
that
used
is true.
the quota
Yeah.
for the week.
That was
Well,
my
to be-
show.
To be fair, Mad was.
Well, I was trying to do it before I lost the top spot, but then somebody thought the notebook joke was overplayed.
There you go. You earned your spot this week.
Oh, I highlighted that for a reason. This one. So, did I tell you guys about how it wasn't actually the bugs? It was all the woman's fault? Carmen?
In Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Because she slightly nudged the asteroid?
Yeah, slightly. One, she wasn't supposed to be going that way. She decided to take it upon herself to do a new whatchamacallit? A new route. So yeah, that asteroid was never meant to hit Earth. Now I'm still glad we killed the bugs because fuck
Okay,
them.
no, the asteroid was en route to Earth. It didn't change course because it knocked off their little.
Wait, do you not know how
transmission
space
tower.
and rocks work?
They already said it was on course for Earth before they took the
They
evasive
could,
action.
how could they have corrected the route of the asteroid?
No, I think
Because
Mad
once
might be
it's
onto
going,
something.
it got
They
nudged a
probably-
millimeter.
Right.
They-
and over
They
the
probably had like some sort of an equity program going on where they reduced the requirements to be a Starship pilot, and she was like in that first crop,
No, she scored way higher than Johnny Rico.
supposedly.
yeah, suppose
mean-
well, yeah.
That was pretty true. Because remember, Doogie Howser called him a retard several times in that movie.
Oh, but I want to get back to
Yeah.
the okay, listen, that's how space works. If you change course even by a millimeter, it's going over
To throw
the
you
entire
thousands of miles.
life the
The
lifespan or the
travels.
yeah, it's going to radically change it. You see the same thing in shooting. The further you are from your target, the slighter the what am I looking for? Like being off, has
more
a
elements
higher
can-
impact on
The farther the distance, the greater that the arc will change.
yeah. So hitting
However,
th-
I think there is one counter to that, and it is that if I understood correctly, the bugs were able to steer that asteroid to a certain degree.
how?
No, they
So
just
they
shot
could've-
it into space.
No, because later in the same movie, the bugs were constantly sending asteroids to Earth, and we had to develop orbital defenses.
And they have
to
those. They
stop
had
them.
those big ass ones that would just fire the giant blast up into the sky, and they could theoretically use that to change the trajectory.
Yeah, because remember when they got into orbit, the one captain was like, "This is not sporadic and whatever," and they started taking down ships.
Yeah.
Right, but that was like from the planet right there.
Yeah, but why
to
couldn't you do that from an
the
asteroid?
ships right there.
You're forgetting the brain bug, Brahma. The brain bug planned out
The
all
brain
the
bug
routes.
knew that she was going to change the course and hit it, and
She
nudge it a
didn't
millimeter
change the
so that it
damn.
hit exactly where it
She
needed to go.
didn't. It didn't nudge a millimeter.
Really?
It didn't change course at
You
all.
think there's no momentum shift when two things collide in space?
Not when it has that much more force. It didn't shift at all. It did nothing.
I mean, I do have to agree with Chad on this one to a certain degree. Like, we've had comets hit Jupiter, and Jupiter's path didn't really change.
You know, the scientists are hoping that asteroid in a couple years will not hit us, but it will hit the moon. They're
That
actually
would
Why
be
are they
awful.
hoping for that?
Why would you want to
I
destroy the
don't
moon?
know why they would like that, but
Is
they're
because of
like,
their wives? They're like, maybe this will change because of the
I
menstrual
mean, if
cycles?
it hits the moon, there's a strong possibility the moon rejoins the Earth.
And that would be bad.
and
That
at
would
very
be
least,
bad.
we
very
lose
bad.
tides and everything else.
Yeah. Oh, you think women
Yeah,
are bad now?
all
Wait
life
until
on Earth.
I mean, yeah, if they have no moon to cycle them, then they're just always on the cycle.
yeah.
Oh no.
That would be bad.
That would be bad.
I
No,
would move
and-
to Mars immediately.
And by the way, the reason I had just watched Starship Troopers like 4 days ago, and I saw the
Yeah,
And I
well, me
remember
and
watching
Mad
it.
just watched that video on how she caused the
Yeah.
asteroid to deflect like
she
2
didn't-
days ago. So we're more recent than you.
Yep.
I
You know,
still
Eric,
think they
it-
had some degree of steering on those things.
Eric, it
That
actually
scares me.
predates that because the Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Remember, he referenced, and when the guy
Yeah.
went into the future, the moon was destroyed. So, holy shit, is that going to be like, are the Eloy and going to be our future?
Well, in Moonfall, which is the movie he's referencing, which by the way is a great movie for all the wrong reasons. It was aliens. The moon is like a alien ship
Alien
or some
base.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the moon is hollow.
The hollow moon theory
Mm-hmm.
that it's a structure. It
Yep.
scares me that me and Matt's algorithms are showing us the same
like it's
videos.
hollow.
Wait, what evidence do you have that is hollow?
They've done what is it, like audio?
We can.
They've done,
It's
like,
close
audio
enough that we
frequency
can
checks
scan
on
it. Yeah,
They
We can
did
scan
audio.
it.
What did they ask? Hey, Moon, you got anything
Sonar.
inside?
No, the
Mad,
sounds
sonar.
it makes lead them to believe that it's hollow on the
Oh,
inside.
you echo dolphin the moon, and you're like, yep, it's hollow.
Basically, yeah.
You know, fun story about why he's named Echo the Dolphin. If you listen to Madapap, you'll get a fun background story
Oh boy.
about how a scientist in a dream of locking a woman in a house with a dolphin led to Echo the Dolphin.
No, that was not the dream. The dream was to be able to communicate with dolphins so we can learn how to communicate with aliens, which is weird because he was already communicating with them. But
And
that
how
doesn't
did how did she finally get the dolphin to behave, Matt?
matter.
Don't
Seems
give it all
inappropriate for
away.
this channel.
Spoiler alert. That's not this channel.
If you want to find out how she got the dolphin to behave after having to live with the dolphin in a house for a month.
It wasn't a house; it was a pool, and it was made specifically for both of them.
No, you said there was a house. It had floors, like she could go up and down, right?
What? No.
But it was also completely flooded, and
Yeah,
she
it-
lived in a
it-
hammock above the
No,
Yeah.
Matt, you did describe this as they built a little facility for them to live
Yeah,
in together.
but I wouldn't call
Yeah,
it a
was
fucking
honeymoon
house.
suite.
It was.
I mean, it sounds like a house to me. Okay,
It was-
a hotel room. How about that?
it was the-
they
it
had
was
a
the
hotel room.
it was the ultimate pool house. There we go. Well, yeah. So go watch. What episode was that one? Like the fourth,
Like 2 or 3,
fifth?
I think.
Yeah, it was third or fourth, I think.
Yeah, it was early.
Well,
'cause
after
Matt
we
was
went to
excited about that.
Tuesdays, yeah.
It might have been the first Tuesday we did.
You're early.
Dolphins. Oh, it was episode 3.
There you go. Which I think was our first Tuesday.
No,
No, it was
did-
the second one.
It was the second one, yeah.
No, because we did the Revenant on a Saturday.
Who cares?
Accuracy cares.
All right.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
chat
well-
I don't think does.
All right. So
We're
this all
losing.
started. This all started because Bondsman was such a piece of shit that we just
It
couldn't
was.
even. We could. If you want to know what Bondsman was, there was a show on the CW called Reaper. About what was that? Like 10 years ago.
Oh, probably more than that.
Yeah, maybe 12, 15, somewhere. It's somewhere in that range, where a guy becomes the bounty hunter, so to speak, or the for the devil, and he has to like he was using a dustbuster and
Yep.
other silly things to capture these demons. Picture that show, but like they decided, hey, we're on Amazon, so we can curse and have gore. So they took Reaper and added Ash versus Evil Dead style
Mhm.
gore, and that's what you're getting. But you're not getting better writing. I would say Reaper might have been better written.
I think so.
Reaper was probably better written.
I think just about
But-
everything is better written.
It reminded me.
I'm-
It really
I'm
reminded me of
still of
those.
the opinion that they're going for supernatural vibes on this one,
Yeah.
and they didn't quite hit the mark with it. But think about it. What was the whole point of supernatural? Oh, the freaking Winchesters, Sam and Dean Winchester, they go hunt demons and monsters and shit. What's the point of this? Oh, he goes and hunts demons.
Well, he gets bounties for demons.
But there was another show on Fox called Brimstone 20 years ago where that was basically the same exact concept, that the guy had come back from the dead. So in this one, Kevin Bacon dies and the devil sends him back from the dead to be the bounty hunter of hell. You know,
Because
and so-
hell has jailbreaks all the time and demons get out.
What- Which is odd because you want to think that demons, because like demons are basically their custodial staff in a lot of ways.
You'd
Like-
think
So-
you'd think the devil, being as he hates humanity and Earth and wants to subvert humanity, you'd think he'd be on board with demons
Right,
getting
like-
out every once in a
All right.
while.
It
So
would
this
make more,
show,
hold on, sorry. It just makes more sense if it was humans who were sent to hell that are breaking out and trying to escape, not the workforce.
so
mean,
Matt,
They need
I
to
want you,
unionize.
I want you to read the description of Brimstone
Got
from
it.
1998 right
Okay.
on the screen there.
A dead cop sentenced to hell is returned to Earth by the devil to recover 113 escaped evil spirits.
Yeah, but they're not demons, dude. That's not custodial staff. That's
So-
inmates.
So would you say, Matt, that is if I just substituted bail bondsman for dead cop and took out the number of escaped evil spirits, that would basically be the exact
I
description
mean,
for
almost
bondsman?
identical.
I know. This is what's crazy. And
Yeah,
this-
Tina Bojan, you're not far off with like RIPD. Yeah, it's
Kinda.
this whole premise gets played a lot, it seems.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In all sorts of various forms of entertainment, be it movies, TV series, anime, video games.
So Eric brings up a good point that this is a concept that's been pretty often used in the TV for the last 20 plus years, that the devil is the prison warden. He's not really bad. He's just like the gatekeeper of hell as the warden. I don't think that is biblically correct in any way, shape, or form, but that's what because I think Lucifer basically went with that route too.
I don't like Lucifer. But I
Yeah, I've
will
never
say,
been a fan.
depending upon what sect of Christianity you subscribe to, like in Mexico, South America, areas like that, he is generally referred to as Abaddon, and he's not considered the Lord of Hell. He's considered the adversary, and his purpose is to challenge God's will, as per God giving him said purpose. So it kind of depends.
Well, then
Um,
also, if you then if you get into the eschatological ideas, whether it's universalism, traditionalism, or conditionalism, right? All of that will radically change the concept of hell.
Yeah, I mean,
Also, Davina, I also watched R.I.P.D. and I liked it, but I would by no means say it's a good movie.
you know what's
They made
funny
a
about
movie.
R.I.P.D. is Jeff Bridges' accent in that one is 100% more authentic than Kevin Bacon's in Bondsman.
True.
It's not just Kevin Bacon; it's everybody. And
Yeah, everybody.
I mean the creators on this show. I don't know what they were doing with the names. It was like they literally were just trying to lean into the hick thing as much as possible.
What's your name, Bud?
No,
Bud?
I'll give you the list of names: Hub, HUB, Kitty, Lucky, Cade, Midge, Tater, Cosmo, and Tiny Earl.
Okay. In the show's defense, Lucky was from Boston.
That's true. He had the most authentic accent.
Yeah, and he's Australian.
Yep, which is sad.
And
All
the
right,
most
so-
annoying part of the show is that every time the mother is on the screen talking with Kevin Bacon, Hub, where you
Davina,
going, Hub?
to call it half-baked would be giving it too much credit.
Well, Victor
That,
Fontaine in the chat saw it, so what did he think?
There's the slightest little nugget of an interesting concept there, and that's about as far as I'll go with it. That's about as much as I'll say that I think was good.
And
let's see.
I'm
I
the
just
only one
watched
who made it
Bondsman,
through all 8.
like 8 30-minute episodes. I had to tap out. It was so.
Here's how bad it was. I started watching that before. Got halfway through the first episode and was like, this fucking sucks. Let me go see if Mobland is any better. And Mobland was pretty good. So
Yeah.
Then I came back and started watching more of Bondsman, but I couldn't even get through the whole first episode before I was like, I need a break, and I need the break to be like over an hour long.
It's an interesting juxtaposition between Mobland and Bondsman because of the vast gap of talent that you can see that's behind the camera. You know, because Guy Ritchie is behind Mobland, and so it has a lot of those Guy Ritchians that you see in his movies and
Richieisms.
Yeah, and he just builds because both of them, when it starts, they have to build that world, right, that you're gonna live in for however long this show lasts. And Moblin did such a great job of just, you know what I mean, giving you all of the exposition that you need to know the players and the game and what's happening, but without being like, well, my brother, Michael, your husband. Well, you know what I mean, like, where the character will give information to a character that should already know that information, but it's only happening for the audience.
Well, they did a very good job with the events of the story, giving me the information I needed.
Yep.
Without doing exposition dumps. I'd say the closest thing they got to an exposition dump was when the one guy came and joined Pierce Brosnan out on the dock.
Right.
And they were talking about when they were kids, but
yeah,
Archie. Honestly, I still thought that was a good scene, and it gave me a lot of hints as to their character.
This show was fantastic.
Yes,
and I think Guy Ritchie's found his best zone, which is streaming shows, where he gets about 8 episodes. Because if you look at what he could do with The Gentleman, what he's doing with Mobland, because a lot of Guy Ritchie's movies, like when you watch Snatch, Lock, Stock, and all that
Smoking Barrels,
and Two Smoking Barrels, you're like, oh, this was great, but it was too short. I want more. But if you give him about 8 hours,
nah, Snatch was perfect. It was neither too long nor too short.
I think there could have been a lot more to have fun with Snatch.
No, it was perfect.
But anyway, if they did a Snatch TV show, you wouldn't be all in about it?
All on board.
Mean, I'd be all on board, but I'd also be worried that some of those characters would overstay their welcome.
Yeah, but then did you watch The Gentleman? You can see he knows how to mix it. And Guy Ritchie does really good ensemble work. So he can spread it out so that you're not ever just getting one guy the entire show. Like, look at this, just look at Mobland between Hardy, Brosnan, Mirren. Like, you see them on the poster, but you got a lot of stuff going on there was the dude who played the like sick king from House of the Dragon, whatever.
Yeah.
Patty, what is his name? It's like
Yeah, I know who you're talking
he
about.
was one
Yeah.
of the sons, and
Yeah.
he was great. Like you've got the other son who's like a f up, and he was.
You got Chibs from Sons of Anarchy, and
Yep,
the guy
Chibs is in
who
there.
had the prima nocte happen on his wife in Braveheart.
Oh yeah, but so with I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan, right? And I love the movie The Gentleman, but the show was even better, which is not something that you see very often, where you see a series that's based on a movie be better than the movie. It's usually going to be disappointing, but I mean, he nailed it.
I
Patty
will
Considine.
issue my one complaint up front. Very early on for Mobland, I'm not gonna say it's lazy, and I get what they're trying to do there, but it has the opposite effect on me. They started off where, or very early on in the episode, the young kids all like buy their way into that club or whatever, and they just immediately bombard you with a whole bunch of shocking imagery, like very gross sex stuff going on.
The music was hot. That was good. What was it? They were playing. Was it Firestarter?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
so,
Prodigy.
yeah.
Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Firestarter.
I was like, oh man, I love this song. I'm glad this
But
is.
like the things that they showed, and they only showed them quickly. They were only there for a few seconds here and there. I was just like, I don't need to see this.
I didn't even
this is
remember
not
it.
interesting to me.
I didn't remember that happening in the show until you brought it up.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
Wait,
just watched it earlier today. So
Why
By
is
the way,
Tom
chat-
Hardy fourth on this call sheet?
this is just
IMDb.
IMDb. It
I know, but
doesn't-
still.
because women are more important than men, and they get top billing.
I think it's IMDb sorts it in their own way. I think it might have been when their representatives got them listed as in the cast. It's weird.
Maybe.
Anyway, but this
I mean, I feel like it should be Tom Hardy, then Pierce Brosnan, then everybody else.
no. Then Helen. I mean, Helen
Helen
Mirren's on
Mirren.
the same level as Pierce Brosnan.
She is a dame.
I mean,
But it,
I
like,
don't disagree.
But you're also like Joanne Froggatt. I don't even know how to say her name. She's got
Yeah,
a
you
lot
do.
Froggatt.
Raga.
She's from
Ted Lasso?
no. I know you thought I know who you're thinking of, but that's not her. She's from
I
Downton
didn't think it was
Abbey.
her.
This is the girl from Downton Abbey. She played the maid that was married to
Who the fuck would
ballot.
know that?
People with wives.
I
man.
know that.
People with wives. Downton Abbey was a very popular show for like a decade and is about
was
to have
actually-
its third or
That sounds
fourth
like
movie.
something a Froggatt would say.
It was actually pretty interesting.
Why are you being so froggatty?
No, in England that word has a different meaning. It means cigarettes. So don't
Oh, froggat.
yeah. But so she's a known quantity, like she's good. I didn't even mind Patty Considine.
Yeah.
Considine. He was the one of the
Yeah, I like
sons.
him.
So all the Harrigans. So this is Pierce Brosnan is the patriarch. Helen Mirren is Maeve, his wife.
Mischievous too. I don't trust her, man. She
She
likes to
is
play
like-
games with everyone.
I just
Yeah.
hope they don't eventually push it till it's like, oh yeah, she's really the one running the whole show, and he's just her little
I mean,
puppet.
that's
I don't think it's
that's the feeling I got from this
That's
episode.
the feeling I got too, and I
'Cause-
didn't like it.
Brosnan's character seems like an idiot half the time.
well, here's what I'm gonna go with. I think what they're gonna say is I think what's gonna come out is that Brosnan's character is dealing with some kind of dementia issue.
Yeah.
And because he's a crime lord, you can't show weakness, right? So
Yeah, like Joe
He's-
Biden.
she's making him try to like maintain that air, like because right after. So by the way, chat, we're going to be doing reviews every week of this show because it's good, and I think it'll. There's not a lot of channels covering it right now. I think we might be the first one that I've seen in our sphere. Brahma Comics didn't talk about this one, did he?
No, I
Well,
brought it up at
everybody's
the end
too
of the
busy.
show last night.
Everybody's too busy crying about Snow White and Minecraft right now.
Yeah, when we have quality shows, we could be talking about. So, Tom Hardy is, I guess the right word would be the fixer for the family.
Consigliere, fixer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the problem
He's
solver.
to go between any of the family issues with other families.
Yeah, and
He's the heavy. He's the guy who gets his hands dirty.
So Joanne up there is his wife, and they have a daughter. That I love the scene where she's through flashcards reminding him to tell his wife that he's sorry for blowing her off the night before.
Right.
So,
And then
but-
he apologizes and doesn't know what for.
and that's what she's like. What were you apologizing for? It's like, I don't, the stuff.
I took it too far.
Good question, Eric. Does dementia get rebranded to Joe Biden disease? It may. So he's the fixer, and that I love the opening with him where he's like negotiating with the two warring, I guess, captains. See, I'm applying like Italian mob ranks to these things, and I don't know if it's quite correct.
Capos.
Anyway. And then so he calls up, he gives the update to Pierce, and Pierce basically, and he asks, what's your feeling on like how long this is going to last? He's like, I think we might get a few weeks of peace out of this conversation, but then they're going to be right back at it. And Pierce basically go, well, come up with a more long-term solution. He goes back and he kills them both. He's like, all right, it's done. It's resolved now. That's your introduction to Tom Hardy. And I think it was very well done. And I think my favorite standout scene in the episode was when Tom Hardy goes to meet the dude in the boxing gym.
Yeah.
And they're having the conversation. Which guy was that? That was
Chibs.
Chibs, right?
He was the one.
It's the guy who is running the gym.
Yeah.
Richie Stevenson, right? So Jeff Bell, was that who it was?
That's the guy
That
he
he
was
talked to.
talking to.
Yes, that he was talking to in there.
Yeah.
I think that's because
You'd have to go to all cast and crew to get.
yeah,
Chibs.
he reminded me a lot of from Snatch. Even the design and his speech pattern of what was the villain's name in
Bricktop?
Snatch? Bricktop.
Bricktop.
No,
Yeah.
I
Ain't
didn't
no
see that at
Bricktop.
all.
But
No.
didn't you
Bricktop.
you didn't notice that the look and the speech pattern was a lot like Bricktop?
Do you know what nemesis means? The righteous infliction of retribution manifested by the appropriate cunt. Personified in this case by me.
By me.
Oh,
No.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
tell
Kinda
didn't
you-
fucked
get
that
that.
up, but close
No, I
enough.
didn't. That what?
Manifested by an appropriate agent.
That's what I said.
In this case, a horrible cunt.
I think I'm right. I think you're wrong.
Horrible.
I don't know. I'm pretty
So
sure
he doesn't
Slender.
say manifested by a horrible cunt. He says manifested
No.
by an appropriate agent.
Wait, no. Yeah, hold on.
Is
I
this
think-
where one of us yells, "Who cares"?
No. 'cause
No,
Oh,
this
okay.
is important.
No, 'cause we
You know,
care about this.
Say what you will about
Manifested-
socialism. So, you're very specific on that quote,
Yeah, I am.
and I know that you are very specific on all the quotes for Big Lebowski. So
The deal was your body
Alright.
high sight. What the fuck is I want with a caravan with no fucking wheels? Man, fucking Brad Pitt, dude. He's
speaking of
phenomenal. in everything.
monetization, if anybody wants to monetize me, I do have subscriptions open on Twitter just to help. Well, I'm going to be dealing with unemployment. You can sign up there.
You've got enough views on Twitter or impressions?
Yeah, dude, y'all forget how big time Chad is.
Yeah, I just don't ever see him tweet. So
Just because I go for quality. I'm kidding. No,
I
I
need like 40 million impressions in 3 months, I think.
I'm
I've been a-
shadow banned. I don't even know what I did to Elon. think
I don't
he's-
even know.
I
I've
think
had
he's jelly.
subscriptions open for
No, maybe that's not for the subscriptions. Maybe that's just to get checks for views on.
oh, that's for monetization for like you're being in the partner program.
Yeah, like Ashley St. Clair.
Yep. She's definitely in the partner program. She's Subscribe Star I also have there. So there's a couple spots where you can support the team if you want. But anyway, back to the show, which is I'm gonna be honest, Paramount Plus is one of the streaming services I've used most in the last probably 8 months. in terms for watching
Between
programming.
Taylor Sheridan and this. Yeah.
Yep. It was, because you got the Taylor Sheridan stuff. I mean, I'm trying to. The other thing is Paramount Plus actually lets you stream in 4K with Atmos sound. They don't restrict it like HBO Max used to. So in terms of the like picture quality, it's as good as you're gonna get on a streaming service without paying extra. They've got, I mean, the Paramount has a pretty extensive library, not to shill for it, but I've actually been pretty happy because their price point isn't that much, and you get all the Showtime stuff too. So Yellow Jackets or any of those
Oh,
other
boy.
new shows. I don't know. I mean, it
You
appeals.
watch Yellow Jackets?
No, my
My
wife.
daughter does.
My wife.
The
does.
girlfriend and I do, and man, it is. There's so many lesbians. They're all lesbians.
Do you think we're going to have to deal with that here on Mobland? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think the two sons are gay.
I don't think so.
No,
they make us be
definitely
British.
seem gay for each other.
You guys know this happens.
That
It's a
opening
common
scene-
mistake. It's they're either British or gay. So, and those are easily confused.
Well, I think they're British
Dude,
and
he,
gay.
he said as they were walking away, "I'll make it up to you."
Yeah.
That means he's gonna dick him down.
I don't think that's exactly
what I got
what
from
it
it.
means. No. They made a reference to the craze too, which was I liked that they even called that out for people who are
I think they're
interested.
two star-crossed lovers from two different houses.
They're
Well, one's
Romeo
dead.
and gay or
Yeah.
Romeo.
There isn't the other guy's gone now. So that the whole problem they're dealing with now is that the other mob grandson or son is missing because he was out partying with which was it Eddie? Eddie Harrigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was out with Eddie, disappears, and that's what Tom Hardy's working to try to fix, is finding the other son.
Well, and along with hiding a stabbing that Eddie did at the club.
I mean, well, that's probably small compared to.
I think he's already covered it up. He's done with that one.
Yeah, that one
For
is
the most part. I mean, that's what
that-
the episode was
when he went to
those
the
two-
hospital and talked to
those
that
two
dude. That
plots.
was fantastic.
Yeah. He's like a British Ray.
Stevenson.
No, the show.
Oh, the one with Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
What was his? Yeah,
I remember that. Ray
it was-
Donovan.
It was,
Ray
yeah, it was a
Donovan, that's it.
Showtime show. Yeah, because he was a fixer.
Yep.
So, and that's why
Tom
that
Hardy's
name-
great in these types of roles, though.
Tom Hardy's great in everything.
I think
Most
This Means
everything.
War is a great little romantic comedy if you haven't seen it.
much like I will say this, Tom Hardy's character is very similar to Charlie Hunnam's character in The Gentleman. In the way that Richie kind of writes it.
Yeah, but with an entirely different intensity, though. Like
Yeah,
Tom Hardy,
Not
But I was gonna-
there's
genuinely.
no joy there.
No, but I would say I would actually be intrigued to see how Charlie Hunnam would have played this, because I think he could do the same thing. But because Guy Ritchie has his like you said, Matt, he has his
Stable.
crew, he has a
Yeah.
stable.
Well, I think
So-
Charlie Hunnam would lean more into getting things done with his charisma. Does that make sense? Because he's a little bit more personable, right? When he deals with things, while Tom Hardy is just fucking intense. You just have that. He has that vibe of like, I don't want to fuck with this guy.
Tom Hardy has the vibe where like it reminds me of Falling Down with Michael Douglas, where he doesn't look that menacing on the surface, but when you
Right.
look at him and look in his eyes, you're like, this dude could snap and kill me
Yes.
so violently and not even worry about it.
I loved when he
And-
was in the club with that guy, and he's like, "I'm in first gear right now.
Yeah.
You want to see me go to
You don't want to
sixth?"
see me go straight to sixth. I liked when he was at the kitchen table with the wife while the other guy was out of the room, and they were talking about the almond milk or whatever it was. He's like, well, why don't you just hide some almond milk or some real milk so that we don't all have to have almond milk because he does.
The British invented snogging and dogging and probably frogging. That's true.
Those all sound like sex acts between men.
They probably are. And I bet you all of them have been done by Prince Harry. Possibly, allegedly.
Yeah, but like, in college where like everybody was.
or because he's been pushed into it by a
Oh
demented
yeah.
wife. I'm not. Yeah. So this show is great. I think it drops on Saturdays or
Sundays.
Sundays. It's a Sunday show.
Sundays.
So it's perfect for all of us to have, hopefully, as a team, seen it by the end of the week. I do plan, I think, for us to regularly cover this show because it's great. Hopefully, stays great. I should say the first episode was great. We'll see.
I trust in Guy Ritchie.
Guy
And it
Ritchie. I
means
trust.
means there's plenty of time from when I have to talk about it possibly on Monday to when I get to talk about it again on Friday.
Oh, do you?
Guy Ritchie hasn't really missed.
Other than when
no, he's
Madonna
missed-
made
Yeah, I
him,
was going to say Madonna. It's like,
but that was
no,
her
but-
fault.
yeah, because she forced him into doing that stupid Castaway
Yeah,
movie.
that was like Overboard, but without any of the charm, talent, or life.
Listen,
Overboard's
she's
great.
not part of Guy Ritchie's first string, okay? Like,
Well, they were married.
The kids are. So, all right. So let's check. We'll do a quick double check of Guy Ritchie's filmography.
I think he does BJJ too.
Because let's see. We'll take out we'll just go with director.
Man from Uncle. God, it's so good.
I love that
Man
movie.
from Uncle was good.
All right. So Mobland, he's doing several episodes.
Mhm.
Ooh, Fountain of Youth. I shared the trailer for that one. I thought that looked really good too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she
didn't know
does.
he was doing it. I would have watched the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't know
Well-
that was him either. But
Oh, we'll watch it again.
It does look interesting.
Because I think that it looks good. Young Sherlock, which I
Basically
guess
National Treasure.
would be a prequel. Oh, look, we've got 70s.
Good
Hello,
evening.
70s.
Hello.
We're
Can
just
tell you
going
what
over.
snogging and dogging are.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
These are apparently acts that occur to people in England. So I
Yeah.
guess they're developing Aladdin too. I don't know if Snow White is
You
going to.
didn't even look at his previous. I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
No,
we were
we're-
looking at all the stupid shit. I wanted to see his good shit.
All right, here we go. Previous
Well,
Mobland.
Tangled is already out or canceled, I believe.
Yeah. So Mobland, which we're just talking about.
Yeah.
Touching Hands, which is a short. I don't even count.
This
All right.
one I was disappointed with.
Ministry. So people going in needed to understand, and I think I tried to coach people. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare had a lot more in common with his heist movies than a war movie, and you had to
Wasn't
kind of
my
taste
issue.
that.
No,
No, what
my
was
issue
the-
wasn't the pacing. It was when the thing finally goes down. I had no idea where anyone was supposed to be, where anything was, the way it was edited and cut and shot. I just had no sense of placement.
Usually
of
the
where
way he
things were.
brings everything together at the end of a movie is very clear, and this
Yeah, but
didn't
this
quite
didn't.
get there.
No, this
Yeah,
didn't land.
I
with
still
me.
had fun with it. I liked it a lot.
I had some
I've
fun.
been meaning
I
to
just didn't
rewatch
think
it.
it was a great movie.
Yeah, I'd still give it like a 7.5 and an 8. I get what you're saying. Yeah. When the whole big thing is going down at the end, there's a lot of hard cuts from place to place to place to place. But
but
I didn't
without.
get totally lost.
But it would cut to a new place, but without any sense of relations to the other place.
Yeah, I get you. I don't disagree with
Right.
that part.
And then next was the gentleman.
Yeah. So
Which
next
was
is the
great.
television series. So this is the
Fucking
Gentleman
fantastic.
Netflix show.
The
The Covenant was good.
well made. It was a little bit.
Matt
It
didn't care
insisted
for the
upon
story.
itself.
Operation Fortune Rue de Guerre. I liked that one.
I didn't see
that
that
was
one.
good. That was quite good fun. That one.
Yeah,
it
that was
good?
another. Yeah, that's a lot like. All right, so it's most of the cast, like a lot of the cast from The Gentleman, came into that one. They and they added who's the one chick from Parks and Rec? Aubrey Plaza
Okay.
was added in, and Hugh Grant is playing the Swarmy.
Well, he was good.
You know,
He-
so he's
he's
playing Hugh
good
Grant.
now.
Yeah, but he's good at like Guy Ritchie writes it best for him because he really can
He's
nail
so
it.
sleazy gets now.
Yeah. But it's like it's perfect for Hugh Grant because it's basically the guy who was handsome and charming in his 20s who was a con man has hit his older phase where he can't quite pull it off just by his looks, but he's still kind of swarmy and tries to do it that way.
Wrath of Man was disappointing. It was serviceable, but it lacked any. It was the least Guy Ritchie film I've seen.
It
If
was
that
the
makes
most,
sense.
remember that.
Yeah, it was
Good
the
point.
most.
Yeah.
It was the most Statham like standard Guy
Yes.
Ritchie
Yeah,
movie he
but
ever did.
without any of that, the little like blimps of light or whatever that guy like there was just nothing fun in it.
Well,
Which
good-
is funny because Operation Fortune is also Statham. So
With all these
Yeah,
music
but very
videos,
different.
I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about this.
yeah, this was just the music
Nope.
video for Aladdin. The Gentleman, the movie,
Fucking
which
love
I
that.
really liked.
Good.
This
That
is
was
again the
great.
music video. Then he did the Aladdin. All right, so here's the truth. Guy Ritchie needed to recover from King Arthur, the Legend of the Sword.
Which I think is
King
better than people give it
Arthur.
credit.
King
I
Arthur.
didn't mind King
Yeah.
Arthur, the Legend of the Sword.
All right,
The
I'm just-
score for it was phenomenal.
Mm.
Okay, so here's what you have to look at. From 2015 to 2017, his consecutive movies were Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I love,
It was really
Love.
good.
but here's the thing, it didn't make money.
It didn't
It
do well.
bombed. It bombed bad. And then King Arthur, which was another big budget one that bombed bad. So Guy
It was
Ritchie had
underrated.
I don't think it
to
was
go
as
and
bad.
make a movie that he knew was going to make money. He had to kind of sell out a little bit. So I don't blame him. He did Aladdin.
Yeah,
and it made
he got
$1 billion.
bills.
So he
He got a bill in XY.
And it was not a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Aladdin sucked.
all right. So these are just all right. So both of these we all agree. I think Man from U.N.C.L.E. was probably his best.
One of his
And
best
that's-
movies. Yeah.
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 King Arthur
I
had
think
some
Bride
moments
would
that
agree
was
with
good.
you on that one.
I think the problem with King Arthur was actually who was bald. He's going bald now. He was in the Star Wars show. Why am I blanking on his name?
Going bald now was in Star Wars show.
He was in the Skeleton Crew. He was the lead.
Oh, Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Jude Law. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
maybe watch Skeleton Crew.
By the way, he's not going bald now. He's been going bald since the 80s. But go on.
so yeah, Jude. Thank you, Lily of the Fox.
You're
also.
pronouncing it wrong. It's Arthur with an F. King
I don't know
Arthur.
what Hague
King
Club
Arthur.
is.
King Arthur.
Hague Club.
All right. No, you notice how it says short. That's this again.
Oh, yeah, I don't give a
these are
shit about those.
These are short
Sherlock
films he
Holmes
did.
was.
Yeah.
I
Give a
like his
shout out.
short
I like
Sherlock
His
Holmes.
Holmes.
Sherlock
Sherlock
Holmes
Holmes.
ones are
Yep.
great.
Here's
Like-
the thing. I liked his Sherlock Holmes. A Game of Shadows was a big step down from the first one.
I still liked it because I really enjoyed the way they did where he shot the fight, quote unquote,
Yeah,
between
I-
Moriarty and Holmes, where they were doing it all in their head.
Mm.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
disagree
Twilight
with
did
that.
it first.
But I just think Sherlock Holmes was way better than A Game of
Yeah.
Shadows.
I
I
didn't
like
like
them
Rachel
both.
McAdams going out so quick in the second one.
And
Oh,
I think
that was my favorite.
what's his name?
Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes.
I think Robert Downey Jr. was a pretty good Sherlock
Mhm.
Holmes.
It's no mistake that those were the only outside of the Marvel movies. Robert Downey Jr. has only had one successful quote unquote franchise, and it was the Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
And
basically what's that time period?
Victorian.
Yeah, he was the
Victorian
Victorian Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, and he also had a substance
With an
abuse
accent.
problems, which
Well,
is if you
I
read the Arthur
preferred-
Conan Doyle ones, he did take.
I
Um,
preferred Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes to Benedict Cumberbatch personally. Not
Absolutely.
saying I
Completely
didn't like
different
Benedict
things.
Cumberbatch, but
Yeah.
I liked both of those. They were just
They
completely
were very
different
different.
projects.
Yeah.
I did like both of them, and they were very different projects. But I like the more traditional Sherlock Holmes.
Vic Fontaine, you got the 4K release, Man from U.N.C.L.E. Is it worth it? How is it like the transfer? Because before I decide to
Dude.
invest in 4K stuff, sometimes they're not actually that
It-
better than the Blu-rays.
If Army Hammer would just stay away from eating pinky toes and shit, he could have been a big star.
I don't think he would have.
Okay,
They-
yeah, you're probably right. But I
they
loved
gave
him
it-
in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
They gave him like the
Tried to
Lone
make him a
Ranger.
star.
They put him in the Lone Ranger, and he bombed.
Which that movie's underrated. It's way better than what people give it credit.
Well,
It's
it
a fun
reminds me.
movie.
You know which movie I actually will fight people about how good it actually is John Carter.
Yes, I was about to bring that up.
Yes, absolutely.
John Carter is actually a legit, really good sci-fi fantasy,
Yeah.
just fun movie,
It's a brilliant movie.
and people just would not give it a chance.
Yeah.
And
Poor
Taylor
Taylor
Kitsch,
Kitsch.
nails it, man.
He knows everything. Both
people
both literally.
People don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they watch sci-fi.
Mm.
Like, how is Avatar one of the highest grossing sci-fi movies in the world?
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's
nobody
such a
remembers the next
garbage
day.
fucking movie.
It's quote unquote live action Fern Gully, you know.
Never get
Dances with
between
wolves,
Army
blue
Hammer
people
and
instead of
finger
Native
food.
Americans.
What is he like? He's the heir to a fortune.
Who?
Yeah.
Arm and Hammer?
Arm and Hammer?
Hammer. Yep.
Oh, shit.
His father was Michael Armand Taylor. Yep. So,
Dr.
yeah.
Anonymous colleague came flying in here because somebody was
Oh,
talking about
I know.
cannibalism.
She's always ready to eat a motherfucker.
Matt, do you worry about that?
Yes,
Then-
we've never been on a plane together, and we never will, because I feel like as soon as we hit a little turbulence, she's gonna start gnawing on my arm because she is so quick to like. Well, I guess we got to eat people.
When's
You
our
know, for
flight
survival.
leave, Matt? Because
Yeah.
that's what she calls you, and you're like, your flight leaves in an hour. My flight leaves in 3 hours.
So you're circling the airport to land for an extra 15 minutes, and you've already been half eaten.
Yeah.
That's one way to enter the Mile High Club.
But
It's
to be
like-
fair, she knows I would shoot her in the leg at the first zombie we see. You know what I mean?
Is it-
Like
in
I'm
the,
getting away.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna
in the
make it.
event of what was it, Alive, right, where the plane
Yes.
zones, it's gonna be 20 minutes before she's like, draw the straw, Matt.
Yeah.
Draw the straw.
Yes. Yeah.
There's only 2 of us here. That's right. All right, so Madonna music videos,
What
forget
was
that.
the
Rock
hell
and
was he
roll,
doing,
I
man?
actually liked. I like rock and roll.
I like rock and roll.
Revolver, another one I liked a lot. I think it's
Ooh, swept away.
that was the piece of
Mm,
shit that he
That's
got.
garbage.
Look, then we have Madonna. Like
What was he
Some
doing,
fucking
marrying her?
snatch.
Snatch and
God.
Lock Stock, man. This is the
There's
good
the
stuff.
two best. Those
Yep.
are still the
Yes.
Yeah.
top of the pile.
It's been emotional.
I know it's only 0.1 higher, but I would say Snatch should be like a 9
I think Snatch should be like a 9.5.
Yeah.
because
Every character in there.
Periglu.
Every character in there is who's that? He's the getaway driver. Getaway driver. What the fuck can he get away from?
Tyrone,
Every
you
scene,
silly fat bastard.
bastard. Every scene, every character is so unique, and they just nail it. I mean, from
First bullet
Why
dodge.
Force
don't we
the
just
blade.
park over there?
Yeah.
It's too tight. You could
'Cause
land a fucking jumbo jet in there.
the bullet
What's the
dodger. Why
matter,
do they call him
Tommy?
that?
You
'Cause he-
afraid of the Germans?
Quick, Tommy,
'Cause he
before
does his
the Germans get here.
Oh, it's all
Oh.
fucking good.
I love that. And then you got Dennis Farina. I fucking hate England. Just going in there.
I don't like leaving my country. I especially don't like leaving it for anything less than sandy beaches and
and sun and palm trees.
Yeah, Dad, you told us.
Oh, it's good. It was good. All right, so the general consensus is, outside of the movies he got forced to make by Madonna,
and by Disney for money.
and the one he had to make to actually be able
Yeah.
to keep making movies because he
Which-
was about to get drummed out.
Well, that and he probably had to, still paying Madonna's shit. No, there's no way
I
that
can
he would
tell
have
you
to pay
right
her.
now that doing Aladdin is 100% how he was able to finance doing The Gentleman.
Yep.
So I'm perfectly happy with the trade-off that Aladdin
Never saw
gave
it.
us The Gentleman. Wrath of Man, I think, is our weakest out, like pure
And the
Ritchie
least Guy
movie.
Ritchie. Yeah.
That was another one where Statham was like, "I'll get you paid." There you go. So this is good. All right. So now, real quick, I'm gonna show. We'll show
Fountain of
you
Youth.
because this is actually also not a very, I would say, Ritchie standard movie. It definitely looks more.
Doesn't look
fun.
like it will be.
And Mad, just for you, I did skip ahead, so we're
Nice.
past the part where it says the trailer will start now.
Which
and I just wonder-
is
Before we do this though, I'm gonna step away. Don't get into the Switch 2 controversy segment without me. I made popcorn and I used too much oil, so I gotta go wash my hands.
what do I do with
Okay.
my hands?
So I'm sure. So you guys must have discussed Mobland already, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
I'd just like to say I thought it kicked ass.
It was so good. Yeah.
It's awesome. Pierce Brosnan's just so fucking good.
I would say if anybody doesn't have Paramount Plus now, if you're just not wanting to sign up for it, I get it. Wait until the show is finished. It's going to be about 8 episodes, and then do the trial and watch them, and then you'll really enjoy it. You'll be
The scene in
And
the
then go
nightclub.
watch all the Taylor Sheridan stuff too.
The scene in the nightclub, I feel, is what it would be like going to a party in Mad's house.
yeah, with Firestarter. going.
Yeah.
Well, no, way too
Exactly.
many women to be a party at anything.
Well, that's
has
true.
to be.
That's true.
But on the plus side, Matt, the focus was on the man-on-man.
That's true. It was.
Okay, I can see it both ways.
That's what he said.
All right, so this is Fountain of Youth, and this stars John Krasinski and Natalie Portman,
I like John
Right.
Krasinski.
directed by Guy Ritchie.
By the way,
Guy Ritchie's national treasure.
I was
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say
that-
with John Krasinski, whatever his name is.
Krasinski.
Yeah. I think that he was in Michael Bay's probably one of his best movies. 13 Hours.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome
Yep.
movie.
Yeah, he really committed for that. I mean, doing 13 hours makes me wonder about his political leanings, only because
Mm.
that movie was so steeped in the politics of things.
Mhm.
If you're signing up for it, you really kind of believe in
Mm.
certain stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
this Tom
wonder-
Clancy stuff has
I
Not been leaning that
love
way.
his Jack Ryan.
I think
I
he's
love
good.
his
I
Jack
don't
Ryan.
mind him as Jack Ryan. I think the stories that they've done have been
Well, the first season
Crap.
was phenomenal.
yes.
The second was definitely the low point, and the last season, I actually think the Ben Affleck Jack Ryan Sum of All Fears, it is its weakest part is Ben Affleck makes a big difference because he is the title character of Jack Ryan.
Right.
But outside of
That's my
him,
favorite.
it's a great
That's
movie.
Probably my favorite Tom Clancy movie, though, too.
Was that the one where Keira Knightley was playing the wife?
That's the one where the nuke actually goes off at the beginning.
You're thinking of the Chris Pine Jack Ryan movie.
Am I thinking of the Chris Pine one?
Yeah, which is
Shadow
fine.
Recruit or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the funny thing is, if you actually read the books, Harrison Ford was actually the closest Jack Ryan to authentic to the books, where he
Yeah.
is really just a former
An
military
analyst.
guy,
An analyst.
but he's an analyst. And when he gets into
Yeah.
bad situations, he knows just enough not to die, but he's not an action hero. Like he's
Well, Krasinski played it more as an action guy.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
what-
Super agent.
yeah. They
Hell
turned
yeah.
when it was Chris Pine, when it was Krasinski, they leaned more into he's super secret agent man.
Fuck
Well,
yeah, because he is.
Technically, I mean, Alec Baldwin's was pretty close to the real Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Alec, which is one of the stupidest decisions in movie history was Alec Baldwin going, "Nah, I don't want to do the sequel."
Mm.
Right.
And Harrison
Crimson
Ford
Tide was better.
jumped right on it. Yeah, that was a submarine movie, but I don't know if I mean, Patriot Games is pretty great.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Wait,
That's
is that the
the-
IRA
That's
one?
the sequel. No, that's the sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the name of the father. Was the IRA one?
Yeah. and Hunt for Red October was first. The sequel was Patriot Games,
am I getting
followed
that
by
wrong?
Clear and Present Danger.
I
Yeah.
like both of those.
Yep.
I like all three of those.
Yep. It took me forever when I was a kid to get through Hunt for Red October. I would just fall asleep.
I still haven't.
I ran back because you guys were talking about Some of All Fears,
Oh.
and I wanted to point something out.
In the name of the father is a different film about the IRA.
Yes, it is the worst
Different
part of the
film.
movie. But one thing I did love about Some of All Fears, it is the only movie that has ever shown what it actually takes to damage a United States aircraft carrier.
When did they show
Oh,
that?
oh yeah. No, there was a part after. Yeah, there was an aircraft carrier.
When shit started going really bad, they fired a fuck ton of missiles at one carrier, and you saw all the Sea Whiz mounts line up and start taking out the missiles. But they overwhelmed the Phalanx defense
Wait.
and actually hit it.
That was in the Sum of All Fears?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm pretty
I don't
sure it
re-
was. Yeah.
I don't remember
recall
that at all.
scene.
No, there
It
was,
was a very
part,
short scene. It was just a quick little thing.
Yeah, there was the part where the tensions between Russia and
Where they
US
think
Yeah.
that
escalating.
Russian is actually going to to attack.
Yeah, they didn't sink the carrier, but they damaged it pretty severely. And they
Oh,
fired basically like a shitload of missiles at it.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm
they
looking
changed
at
that story a lot from the book, because in the book, it all happens in Denver at the Super Bowl, and they've been like, the nuke happens at the very end.
Yep.
It was a completely different story on how they went about
Well, then
it.
the
for
movie was the sequel. Duh.
Kinda.
All right. Let's start this trailer.
We already did.
Charlotte.
We just
How have
didn't
you
get
been?
very far.
Well, that might take a while. We haven't spoken in a year.
I hate that exposition.
brother
Oh,
would
can we
want to see
pause?
his sister.
Are you in trouble?
You know, Brad Pitt's getting pretty old, but John Krasinski, whew, he might be my replacement.
I strong disagree. One, Brad Pitt looks phenomenal. I can't wait to
Have you
see
seen
F1.
F1? I'm
Oh
looking
my
forward to it.
god!
I'm gonna be honest, when Tom Cruise came out and actually started talking about F1 instead of his own movie, I was like,
Dude,
Yeah.
I can't date a guy that's that short. Sorry. Just
Who?
can't.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way,
but I'm sure he has an Apple Box guy,
so
an
Where
Apple
did
Crate guy.
dating
You know,
come in?
And Bride throws open the curtain and is like, what the fuck?
So I'm just going to say this as we watch this trailer. When you watch it, consider the fact that when they did the Uncharted movie, they decided to go with Tom Holland, because I feel like seeing Krasinski in this trailer makes me think he would have been a pretty awesome Nathan Drake if they had just gone with it.
He could have pulled off Nathan Drake.
Yeah, because watch this trailer and think Nathan Drake.
Also, doesn't Natalie Portman's
Why
head
would you
look
say
like
that?
it's elongating like a xenomorph every year?
It does, doesn't it?
Like she's gonna
forehead.
open her mouth and a little Natalie Portman's gonna jump out.
She's gonna have a
Yeah.
Klingon forehead soon.
Now, Brahma, are you going to get mad because of their use of U2?
I will.
Why
I'll
would I
get mad.
Because I know that.
I don't give a shit about you two.
U2 is my favorite band right up
There's the
until
power
they stopped being a rock band.
beyond any of our comprehension.
You two suck balls.
Yep.
One story. 5 continents. Dozens of cultures over thousands of years.
And it's pretty much unrecognizable, as I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
It's got that dum dum dum.
And which genius
Thing
will
going on,
explain to
yeah.
me why I'm here?
Keep the cat in the bag until I release it. Yeah? Great.
We're looking for the Fountain of Youth.
Oh, please, no.
What did I just say?
So Domhnall Gleeson is apparently their Q, which is nice. I like him.
Mhm.
About Time is still one of my all-time favorite movies. I think
Wait, is it good?
cute?
Because I always get tempted to watch it.
it is fantastic. It is.
Okay.
I
Is
can't.
this gonna be
speak
like
highly.
Krasinski's The Mummy?
It's more like Krasinski's
like
National
National
Treasure
Treasure.
plus The Mummy got put in a blend. That was how I described it. National Treasure and the first Mummy movie are in a blender, and you get this.
I mean,
And
if
a
you're
little
gonna
bit of
blend
Indiana
something,
Jones.
those are two good
Those
ingredients.
are both really
is-
fun movies.
And I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure Krasinski will be a little bit more fun to watch than Nick Cage chewing up the scenery in National Treasure. Yeah,
Ooh, I
and
don't
he's
know.
definitely like the Nathan Drake vibes.
Cat wasn't happy in the bag.
It's here. I can feel
Wait,
it.
why didn't he shoot everybody while they were driving in
There's
that
a-
circle?
Because he's not like a he's
He's not John Wick. Okay.
It's not John
he's not
Wick.
John Wick. He's not out to kill people. But I think, Matt, you'll notice the female counter lead here is going to be the girl who was in On Gentlemanly Warfare. It looks like she's moved into the Guy Ritchie stable.
Dude, when Guy
I
Ritchie
don't
finds
remember who
people
it
who
is.
can do something, he's got like a Rolodex or something.
A lot of directors are like that. Look at
John
fucking-
Ford.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you want to go back, 80 years, I was thinking more Martin Scorsese with Leonardo.
Martin what?
Scorsese. The Potted?
Sukazi?
Martin Scorsese. He did the
Is he
Potted.
Fugazi? Is he
Yeah,
You
he's like-
say
Fugazi?
it different every fucking time.
I say the way it's pronounced. Martin Scorsese.
Shifty would points out that Tarantino also has a crew, which is true.
Yeah, most
They all
directors do. Yeah.
But
Brahma,
if-
this is the
if
same
Fountain of
girl.
Youth has
That's the
John
chick from Three Body
Krasinski.
Problem.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
If Fountain of Youth has John Krasinski and Snatch had Brad Pitt, we could theoretically get them both in a Guy
Same
Ritchie.
universe. Same universe.
All right. How about this? We're gonna overwhelm the system. We're gonna have Charlie Hunnam, Jason Statham, Brad Pitt, and John Krasinski all in a Guy Ritchie movie.
Guy Ritchie's The
I don't-
Expendables.
That would
I don't
be
care what
awesome.
any
Yes.
of the other characters are doing as long as Brad Pitt is the fucking Pikey. You can change any of the other ones, but he has to be that guy
Give him-
again.
Yeah.
Give him the
Brahma's
silly
right,
hat
the-
and the accent.
Yep.
Brahma's got it. Guy Ritchie's Expendables, but they would have to think of a name for it,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. So they announced they're making
Mhm.
a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tarantino's getting around it because he's not going to direct it; he's just going to write it.
It's going to be Brad Pitt's character.
Brad Pitt's
Focusing
coming
on-
back as
that's so
the
cool.
stuntman.
Yeah, he was
So
so
that'll be good.
cool.
Reason. The fountain was hidden.
Oh, it's her.
I like him in like everything he's into.
Oh, of course. The Gooch.
This is definitely national treasure.
So you really think you're gonna find a magic pool of water at the end of this?
You like him in everything, Slender?
But I think you want to find
No,
out.
I said that.
Like the Hunger Games?
Yep.
I mean, I liked him in the Hunger Games.
He played his role as good as he could have.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So did
about-
Lenny Travis.
Yeah.
What's the U2 song?
Still
I
haven't
still
found
haven't
what
Still
I'm
haven't
looking
found
for.
what I'm looking for.
It's got that stupid.
No, I'm looking
Josh
for the
Johnny
name
thing.
of it.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Aha.
That's, so Isa Gonzalez, I guess, is the new
Yes.
girl from Three Body Problem and Ungentlemanly Warfare, who's
Which is
moving.
We
better
could have done
in
without the
everything
girl
she's
from
been in.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
We could have done without Portman.
Well, it's funny because it seems like they're. If you remember the first Mummy, remember the comedic banter that you got between Rachel Weisz and her brother. I think they wanted that element, and they're gonna get that. And then Isa Gonzalez is gonna be the smoke show femme fatale kind of counter lead to Krasinski.
Well, speaking of Apple TV, anybody watching Dope Thief? Dope Theft?
No.
I'm
know what
really
the words
liking
you
it.
just
I'm
said
like
were.
I'm like 4 episodes in. Dope Theft. Dope.
Rachel
Dope
Weisz was
Theft.
hot in the Mummy.
Dope theft.
Yes, Dope Theft. I'm
Never
liking
heard
it,
of it.
man. It's just about a couple bros that get in, over their head, and they're trying to, they're in too deep.
I
And
just
they
don't.
start to
so-
sink.
Yeah, but just real quick. So this movie, The Fountain of Youth, is going to be released to Apple TV. It's not going to theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Guess
don't
I'm
know-
gonna
I feel
hold
like-
on to my Apple TV for a little longer.
Yeah, it's May 23rd that it comes out. I feel like that would do. I don't know.
Because I wanted to shut off my Apple TV after Matt lied to me.
If we're gonna do this now, then I'm gonna have to go have a smoke first.
Are we going to talk about Severance?
Season 2 was a.
I thought it was
fucking pile.
great. It was such a
damn
fantastic season finale.
Yeah. What about the rest of the season, Matt?
It did its. I'm gonna have a smoke.
You got to keep it for the
Oh.
last season of Ted Lasso anyway.
Well, you can just re-sign up for it.
Yeah.
You can drop it and then reopen it.
Churn it.
Churn, baby, churn. So while he's getting the smoke, the Nintendo Switch dropped its big reveals, including price points this
Yep.
week.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody is flipping out about this shit.
Me neither.
I don't think it's a big deal either. It's weird. It's
I don't like that
like-
Nintendo is basically going to be setting the bar for the lower end of the price of games now.
I do agree with that. I think a lot of other game companies will see this as opening the floodgates and do the same. And I don't think they have the clout. But I will say, as far as Nintendo's flagship titles, their dollar to quality ratio has degraded less than any other companies.
Well, the other thing, I was talking to Imp about this before the show started.
Yeah.
Number one, Nintendo, when they put out their games, they're finished products.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about all this crazy not working kind of stuff. Like, and you look at this, they're going to be charging $80 for the first run games,
which everybody's paying for
80
most
or
games
90.
nowadays
Yeah.
anyway.
But people are paying that when they pre-order, they pay for the extended DLC plus blah 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 editions that still don't work.
Yep.
And the Mario Kart, like they're putting out Mario Kart with the system. As an example, the Mario Kart you're
I
buying
mean,
is
as a launch title.
as a launch, but it's going to be
Not-
the Mario Kart for the system for the next 7 years. Mario Kart, like they put out one Mario Kart every 5 or 6 years. So
Oh, Shifty, you sweet summer
One
child.
Mario Kart per generation.
the
You
tariff.
think GTA 6 is going to be worth it? Okay. Good luck.
Here's how. All right, I'm going to say right now.
He didn't say GTA 6. He said GTA was always going to be well, I guess he is meaning 6.
6 is the next one. Yeah.
Yep.
Here's what I would.
It was always around 100.
Here's what I would say. If they bundle it where they give you the digital codes, or they put it on the game because they're small, for like GTA 3, Vice City, you know, they have the remastered editions they keep putting out. Bundle that with it because it doesn't cost them anything, and then you could kind of justify like it's 100, but you're also getting like the old library of GTAs to play, and then they get you.
Shifty fell into the trap. Rockstar games are worth it.
So
yeah, I thought that about Bethesda for a long time, and I thought that about BioWare for a long time, and I thought that about Ubisoft for a while.
There's only one company now, and I said this to Chad earlier, that I will just take what they put out and go, yep, this is going to be good, and that's it.
Which company is that?
FromSoft.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other than that, every other company that I had
wrong
any
by
respect
FromSoft,
for, whatever for, just tanked themselves at some point. Konami, Capcom, Blizzard.
Although I'm disappointed that FromSoft decided to do a Nintendo exclusive.
That was going to happen.
I don't care anything about getting the Switch.
But yeah, I don't know if Rockstar is going to be I don't know if Rockstar is going to meet your expectations with GTA 6. I really don't. I've seen a lot of red flags thus far. And Red Dead 2 was pretty good, but I still think it was a bit of a slip in quality when compared to Red Dead 1.
I don't play any of these, so I don't know.
I didn't like the guy. Like I still like John Marston. Like John Marston was an awesome character. The guy in Red Dead 2, whose name I can't even remember at this point, he was not as compelling a character.
The problem I have with them charging $100 for GTA versus it doesn't bother me with Nintendo when their price points get announced. The problem I have with GTA is that they're going to charge you $100 and they're still going to push you into their online system where they try to monetize you left and right to do anything in there. If you're going to put me into a system where I'm pay to win and you got to monetize me and do all this, the game shouldn't cost as much up front. Yeah. That's my position. If you're going to do that, charge me $60 for the game and then try to microtransaction me to oblivion once I get it. I don't, say what you will about Nintendo, their online gaming system sucks. It does.
And Matt, I have never gone after you about Red Dead Redemption 2 being one of your favorites. I just don't think it's as good as Red Dead Redemption 1.
Yeah.
I still think it's a good game. It's a really good game. I just preferred the first one.
I don't like that this is all going to be handled like a salary cap raise, though.
where
Nintendo
everybody's
prices
raising.
at this, so everybody else will price.
They
at
always,
that.
but they always price it that way every generation. When the new generation games
Dude,
come out,
this
they
price hike
decide
was
what the
Hasn't
coming
price
changed much
point.
for
regardless.
generations.
This price hike was coming regardless whether Nintendo raised the prices on their games or not. There are plenty of other companies that sometime this year they're coming out the door with the higher prices. Now, at least Nintendo has the respect for its customers to just be like, this is what the game's going to cost, as opposed to Blizzard or Ubisoft or any of the other Activision groups or Bethesda or any of them who are like, well, we'll sell the game to you for $70 with fuck all attached. Then you can get the premium package for $90 with some cosmetics, and we'll give you the first DLC that we might cancel later on down the road. We haven't really made up our mind if we're actually going to do a DLC for this or not. Or then you can get the super hyper ultra plus premium, where we'll give you a whole bunch of other digital stuff because we don't make shit anymore for $120. And people pay that shit constantly. So I don't know. I don't think the price, the jumping up $10, $20 on prices for these games, I don't think it's that big a deal. Also, the cost of the console itself, I've heard some people complaining about that, and I'm like, well, if you match inflation, the first Switch came out in 2017 and it was $299.
This is an argument I've heard. It's that games and consoles have not necessarily kept pace with other things.
I'm not saying game prices.
I'm not defending it, but
yeah, I'm not saying game prices need to keep coming up, but consoles are a little bit of a different game because there is a lot of tech going into the console.
So hold on.
Also, consoles back in the 90s that cost $700.
Yeah, Shifty. I'm going to tell
And
you right
those
now.
all failed.
No, time out.
Not all of them.
Yes, hold on. Nintendo did announce that they were delaying pre-orders because they had to digest the tariff changes. I will tell you right now, they're not going to change the price points.
No, I don't think so.
They are going to eat the cost because one of two things are going to happen. Japan is currently in negotiations with the trade representatives, and so that could change because the tariffs are reciprocal. So if you drop yours, they go away. The other thing is the American market. There's only the two biggest markets for gaming are Japan and North America. Europe, sort of as a collective unit, is in there, but you get into a lot of different things with the EU and some of the other stuff. But if you want to hit the North American market, you're gonna just they'll eat the cost a little bit because as much as they might make less selling the hardware units and they might get less of a profit margin on those games, they're still going to make more than they did before, and they want to move those units and then get you into the online. Guess what? If you buy something digitally, you don't pay a tariff on it. Right? So
also,
they're going to...
I think they may have already built it in because I have seen reports that Japan, it's going to cost the equivalent of about $375.
Well, yeah, the yen is
and
absolutely
the games are going to be
right
like
now.
$65 US.
No, I think the yen is actually up against the dollar.
Is it? Last I saw, it was like 61 cents to $1 for 1 yen.
Yeah, I think.
But I think they've already priced it in for North America.
And the other thing too, and I said this to you earlier, Chad, with all these people complaining about the prices because of tariffs. If it's because of tariffs, why is Europe paying the same price as we are, if not more?
I don't get your point.
People are saying that the price of what's going on with the Switch 2 is because of Trump's tariffs.
Yeah.
The prices aren't any lower in Europe for the Switch 2. The only place that they're lower is in Japan, and those systems.
I'm glad you asked that, Imp, because here's the thing: Europe has tariffs already.
They've always had the tariffs.
They've always had them. So they've had entry point tariffs, and Europe has a sneaky little thing they call a VAT.
Yeah, I know what
it's value-added tax. So
it's 17 to 20% or something. It's way
so.
Yeah.
Imp, you're right.
You don't set different prices all over the world. You set pretty much a standard price, and you base it on the largest market, and that's America.
No, they do change their price for different.
They can, or they can
always
just make
have
kind of a standard flat across the board price.
They've always charged more in Europe than they do in the U.S.
What adjustments for tariffs?
No, well, whatever their reasons are, the price point for game systems in Europe is always higher than in the US. The US tends to be the lowest price point for the
Okay.
systems. Which
wrong
if
with
we complain about it, but
Largest
we
population.
we complain about the pricing. I think Japan, depending on the yen conversion, maybe a little bit cheaper for like Japanese produced systems. I think it changes for Xbox because they import that.
I'm trying to figure out what Shifty's talking about. That was the initial argument from Wednesday, though. What do you mean that was the initial argument? Like, you're on the site right now, Chad. Click how to buy.
It's 68. It's 0.0068 yen to it. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
1 yen equals
it's still $500 for the
0.0068
bundle with
cents.
Mario Kart, and it's what if you click Nintendo Switch 2? It's $450 for the
That's the
system
prices
without
they
a game.
announce.
Yeah, like that hasn't changed.
And the game's price point is $90. So the bundle, you're getting the game for $50.
The game's price point is $80 for a digital download and $90 if you want a physical copy.
I will say something else I do like that Nintendo's doing to try to keep the scalpers from getting in. To pre-order through the Nintendo site, you have to have a Nintendo account that's been active for at least a year with, I think, over 50 hours of gameplay over the course of that year.
Yeah, that's
So
what
that-
screwed me over. I haven't played 50 hours in the last year.
Yeah, but I appreciate that ensures that it's people who have actually been.
I mean, I
most
registered my
into the-
interest, so I'm waiting to
Yeah.
get word on whether or not I'll be buying one of those.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
don't
could
know if
just go
I'm.
turn on your Switch and let it run.
Just leave it running for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
I don't see the Switch 2 as something I need to run out and get anyway. I
I'd
feel
rather
like
have a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I'm not in a super hurry to grab one.
I'm perfectly comfortable waiting for the price drop when the OLED version comes out.
That's
8 months
In
after.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising that they didn't do the OLED right from the jump.
Well,
Doesn't
it's that way.
surprise me at all. They can then release it as the OLED
Well,
version.
yeah, I mean,
just
I
like
get
the
that, but at the same
Pro
time-
version.
So
Just like
here's
PlayStation and Xbox have always done. Here's
So
our new
this-
system. Here's the slim version 6 months
Or the
later.
Pro. Yeah.
Yep.
well, this is what Nintendo did with the Switch. So they're going to do the same setup. They're going to do the OLED version, and they're also going to do the light version, which is basically their handheld portable one.
See, that shit
Word.
never matters to me because I just immediately got the Pro controller and the thing never left the dock because I played
Yeah,
it on my
same.
TV.
Yeah.
I have
I don't
used
do
it.
handhelds.
It is pretty
Neither do I.
convenient. Like if you take a road trip, you can let your kid play like Switch games.
Well, I'd rather my kid played the heavier one so that he built up his fucking muscles.
You got to haul your PlayStation 5 with its dock system into the.
Oh, you think that thing's too heavy? You think you need a little slim down model? Try playing a fucking Game Boy. The originals, the big ass ones.
Or the PlayStations that used to have the monitor in the suitcase that you could take around.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's I just am not bothered. I know people
Like
got
I
in
said,
it
I
'cause
think everybody's kind of getting swept up in the Nintendo hate right now. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of reasons to hate Nintendo, but I don't think this one's it. I really don't. And honestly, I've always kind of thought Nintendo is one of the better companies. It's like, yeah, they're litigious as fuck. I'm not going to deny that. Their legal team may very well employ the devil himself. But the company also does a lot of things right. They protect their IP very well. They don't do stupid shit. They very seldom sell slop. So I give them a pass on some things. Honestly, I think regardless of all this, this may accelerate it slightly, but I think we are rapidly heading toward another game crash. Like,
well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't mind because when these other
I think
games try
GTA
to,
6 is going to be the one that makes it happen, if I'm honest.
well, GTA might do okay, but when the other games decide they need to match and can somehow, if they're a quote unquote AAA game, charge 90 or 100 for the base model, and people don't buy it because they got sticker shock, and they're like, I'll just wait for the used copies to hit GameStop or wherever. And that's
and
what'll do
here's
it.
the thing, you know why the market is so fucked up anyway, and I'm gonna put the onus on gamers. Gamers fucked up gaming because there are way too many people who don't do any fucking research. They just go, oh man, Rockstar never misses, I'm gonna buy their game. And it's like, dude, go look at some of the things that have come to light about what it's looking like GTA 6 is gonna be, and maybe hold off. Maybe wait for the reviews. Don't pre-order. Don't buy the super deluxe fucking version. If the prices keep going up, gamers will have to be more discerning in their purchases. If gamers are more discerning in their purchases, they'll either A, not buy games from companies that suck, and those companies will be cycled out of the market more quickly, or B, they will buy games that suck, and then they'll get pissed off, and they'll just stop buying games altogether, and we'll hit that next crash. And I think that next crash is going to suck, but I think it's going to be a good thing in the end, because I think there's a lot of AAA studios that dominate the market right now, and they have no right to. They should not.
Let me correct you a little bit on that, Slender. It's only going to suck for people who don't have backlogs.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
going to suck for the young guys.
Still plenty of games around.
Not even the young guys. I know some younger guys who do have backlogs of games.
Yeah.
But those people that go out there, buy the newest thing, trade it in, sell it off, give it away, whatever, to move on to the next one, they're the ones who are going to be screwed.
I mean, my Steam library is up to 360 games at this point, so I've got plenty to play.
My other hobby, building Gunpla, is going to be affected by the tariffs. You know what? I don't fucking care because I have a backlog that'll last me for years at this point of kits I can build.
No, Soul, I didn't say suck, but in a good way. I said in the short term, it's going to suck. But I think in the long term, cycling out those older game companies and replacing them with the 2A studios that are actually making good shit right now will...
something will always fill the gap, yep.
Yeah, it will. I think it will rejuvenate the market in a way that the AAA studios have been unable to do because they're not taking any risks, and they're just recycling the same slop every fucking year.
Yep. And the other thing too that people need to realize is, yes, the video game crash in the 80s happened. Didn't kill video games though.
No, it's like a wildfire, right? It burns out all the shit that needs to be burned out, and then the new growth comes in, and the new growth is lush and green and healthy again.
Because computer gaming, and I don't say PC because back then there were more things than just a PC, and PCs really weren't, deemed worth gaming on in the early 80s.
Yep.
But you still had all that. Arcades were still flourishing. And then Nintendo came around and changed things up.
Yeah. And Nintendo has dominated, well, not dominated the market ever since, but Nintendo is like, once PlayStation and Xbox came on the scene,
I did too.
They basically got into a war with each other, and then every couple of years, Nintendo would just step out and remind everyone they were the king. Like when they made the motion capture with the Nintendo Wii, and for some reason that was the biggest selling console of like the decade.
But then Xbox one-upped them with the Kinect.
The Kinect was okay. I played a really cool game on the Kinect. It was like you had to fight zombies and shit. I was playing it at a buddy's house, and there was one thing where there was like this nemesis type monster that would appear from time to time, and when it was around, you had to hold perfectly still so that it wouldn't notice you. And the asshole fucking reached over and pushed me while I was playing the game. I'm like, you fuck, and then I died.
I've been tempted to try to get a VR headset, but
an Oculus or whatever.
Yeah.
I've got the PlayStation VR. I've had it for years.
I keep watching the Oculus, and I'm just like, it's not there yet. It's so close, but every time I'm just like, it's not there yet.
This like once it reaches peak Virtual Boy, then maybe. But I mean, it's gonna be hard to.
Hey, just think that you could play
experience.
Phasmophobia with a VR headset.
I'll never do that. Even if I get a VR headset,
I did that Resident Evil that last Resident Evil with the VR headset.
Oh, what, 7?
7.
Resident Evils have been somewhat. I don't
Oh,
know.
hey,
They took
Slender,
in
was
a
it
direction
Rise
I
of
don't like.
Nightmare?
It was Rise of Nightmares. Yes, that was the name of the game. That was a fun little experience. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, my buddy who was watching me play it, as soon as that thing showed up and it's like, don't move, he started pushing me.
Sounds like a good friend.
Yeah, I mean, he's still my bro.
All right. As a palate cleanser to shift out of that conversation, I'm going to show you a clip, and I'm going to ask you if you think this is a son leading
Bride, stop watching the show.
down the path of the same mistakes his dad made.
Do not watch the show right now, Bride.
Oh,
You
is it
know
snakes?
she's going to turn around and watch it just
She
because you
hates
said that,
snakes.
Slender.
She'll listen. She knows I wouldn't call that out for no stupid reason.
Are we
Do
ready
they
to
have
check
snakes
this
in
out?
Canada?
Night, and look who we found. This, of course, is a carpet python. And if you listen carefully, there's a bit of a hiss.
This is Irwin's
A
kid.
little bit grumpy, but I
right.
do need to move him because he's right next
That's
to our
Irwin's
bird
kid? I
aviary.
thought that was
There's a
Irwin.
chance he
I thought
might
this
have a
was an
little
old
munch
thing.
of some of
Nope,
our
this is
birds.
his son.
Ends up in with
And his
any
son
of
is
the
going to
predatory animals that we
follow
have.
in his
Might not
father's
be very
he's-
footsteps.
good.
He's going to just pick up the snake and start messing with it.
They calm down very quickly.
Oh yeah,
do
he
they?
seems like he's calming down.
Very reactive there at the start, but then once you actually support his body, allow him to move through freely,
I don't know. He still seems pissed off.
see how quickly he just calms right down.
No, he doesn't, Cash.
How? No.
I am waiting for this thing to just latch
Just
onto his
go. I
face.
want this to go wrong quickly.
Tomorrow we'll go relocate him. There we go. That's how you rescue a snake. You just always
How does he
watching
need rescuing?
their body language.
Yeah, this kid is
No,
going to.
You're just always watching their body language. Oh, it just bit my leg off.
There you go.
So this crocodile's got something stuck in its mouth. I'm just going to reach in here.
Yeah, but do you remember how many times Steve Irwin got bid on national TV?
Oh god, yeah.
Like every
What was
time
it?
he would go on a late night show, there would be a snake just latching onto his neck right at his jugular, and he's like, "Yeah, it's fine."
What was the South Park where it was like, let me hit it with a stick and see what it does.
No, it was Cartman sneaking up going, "Now I'm
Oh.
really going to piss him off. I'm going to stick my thumb up his butthole."
Here you go, Matt.
Wait,
Check
wait,
this
wait,
out.
I have to scroll back up. Wait, Slender, you broing around? What happened to bros before? I don't know what that means. I had bros before I joined the ranks of, extremely minor internet YouTube producers.
Yeah.
My
Simple
life didn't
assessment.
begin until I met you guys.
Feel
Your
old,
life
Steve.
didn't begin until you met
So
us?
it began and ended.
Does
in
that
the
mean if
same
we all
mo-
leave, you cease to exist?
It began and ended in the same moment. Then.
So we're talking like
Irwin's
sopilism?
daughter had
Yes.
a kid. Oh no, I feel so old. That's messed up. What was her name?
I don't care.
Bindi. It was her name Bindi.
Bindi Irwin.
Here you go, Mad. Look,
This
koalas.
koala.
Fuck them.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I don't
These are
trust them.
nasty little
Koalas are our
fuckers.
She's
Aussie
hot.
icons.
They're
These guys
nasty.
are really special. Look at that. Look at their hands there. You see how they have two thumbs? That enables them to climb really well. And we're in a little eucalyptus.
That koala looks like it is pissed off and ready to
Yeah, they're vicious bastards.
just
He's
smack
sitting
this
in the
kid.
rain.
They will tear your face
Mm.
off and wear it like a fucking mask.
Bush right now. Eucalyptus is the favorite food for koalas, but it doesn't have a whole lot of
Oh, I got breaking
protein
news.
in there, so they're not.
Beep, 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 beep. Ovi has tied Wayne Gretzky for most goals of all time with career goal number 894.
Where did you find that out?
I guess I have shit like that.
And of those
Wait, did it-
894 goals, 797 were for the same spot on the ice.
And he did
He
it
just-
in one game less than Gretzky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gretzky was there.
Oh, koala. Josh Hammond, you need to go watch my koala video.
Most of the day. Upwards of
Find
20
out the
hours
truth
out of
about
the
these
day
things.
is
You
spent
got a koala
snoozing.
video? I thought you did the
Good
panda
way to
video.
be. Now, of course, they give birth
Are you
to little
serious?
babies only the size of a jelly bean. They grow up in a
No.
pouch.
He
and,
never
then when
watched
they're big
your
enough,
We
first
don't
they
acknowledge
start
your old
growing
channel
up.
anymore.
Got those
No,
big
This is
the
new
koala
channel.
video
Really
is on the
koala
new
action.
channel.
Oh, I thought
I
that
know
was the
because
panda
I've
one.
watched every episode Mad has produced at least
Thank you.
twice now, like a real bro.
Thank you. The link is in the chat.
Is it the new old channel or the old?
I don't know
channel,
if I think Mad realizing this was on his StreamYards might have been the worst thing.
Different face.
What?
You can tell them
What?
apart just like people.
What?
What?
I never been so irate in my whole fucking life.
All right. By the way, do you know how he finances being a zookeeper?
He's a model, isn't he?
Yeah, check this out. This is
Mad's like, you'll like this, Mad. This is approved
He
by
does-
Mad.
Do
he
not
does
care for
underwear
snakes.
pictures.
If it wasn't for the snakes in this picture, both of them.
The snakes.
Really
There you go,
like
Mad. No
snakes.
snake.
There's only one snake in that one.
Yeah, it's in his grass.
Oh, you know he trims. Like
This
with
time,
a weed eater.
a giant monitor lizard. He looks like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he
like
does look like a
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. Yeah, like a Hemsworth cousin.
Yeah, well, it's Australia.
We
They are
move along
cousins.
Is he a
from this.
male feminist
We
too?
are about to collectively lose our man cards.
And you know what? Our
Alright.
our chat started
Nope.
going on.
It's on the new channel. It's on the new channel.
Is that the
link's in
new
the chat.
old channel or the old new channel?
That's probably why people haven't found it, because you're confusing them.
Mad's new channel, all one word.
Meet the new channel, same as the old channel.
How dare you? Not the same. It's better, stronger, faster.
We can rebuild it.
We did rebuild
Consistently Tuesday.
it. Wait,
so,
why am I defending Mad's channel?
Because you're a bro?
Oh, okay. I guess it's just instinct at this point. I don't even have to like consciously be a bro. It's just what I do.
Can you be subscribed to both of them at once? Is that not breaking some kind of physics rule?
I think you can be subscribed to both of them at once. I keep meaning to unsubscribe from the old one because I get notifications from both. And then I end up going to the wrong channel and being like, nobody's talking in here. And then I'm seeing all this chat going on in the screen and I'm like, they're all in the other channel. Damn it.
Hopefully that will be
It's
fixed.
a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
send an arcade. There you go. All right, and so to finish one, last time we had a trivia where it was like millennial. This time I'm
We're
going to
doing
see.
trivia now.
Yeah, it'll be a quick one, easy.
Okay, well,
'Cause
I'm
I
gonna
think
step
these-
away because I got to go make sure my wife is still alive after you tried to give her a heart attack with all this.
She is.
She typed.
She's right there. See, she said yes.
Yeah. But I need to
Really
check
just
on
means
her
he wants to step away.
to make sure she's healthy and happy and
By
not mad at
healthy-
me for being friends with someone who would show snakes on our stream.
Oh man, Gen X. Well, I'm out.
That's the thing. I think we'll actually do fine. Gen X is technically the generation above us.
Not above. They're below us.
No, I consider myself Gen X. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
claim
not.
Gen X or
I'm not a
Zennial.
millennial. I'll allow Zennial, but I was told I was Gen X until after 2000, and then
Yeah.
they started saying I was a millennial.
Yeah.
I'm a
Eric, I'm a centennial. I think that is another name for it as well. The cusp generation where the argument is made is generally considered 80 to 84, 85, where they try to, and the basis of it is that we grew up without internet through like most of middle school, and we didn't really get internet in our homes until we were in high school. So it was a completely different youth
We were the
experience.
last generation that played outside and then had the internet.
Yep. Josh over here. I'm a millennial. I was born in 96. Good for you.
Like, hit play. Let's see.
All right. This is going to be too easy, probably, I think. Yep.
I mean, so far I'm doing good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, Jesus. It's not going to be difficult.
We could probably like turn that music down, if not off, just in case it's copyrighted.
It's actually season 1, to be more accurate.
As long as it's not yeah, I'll have to do it if a music one comes up.
You too.
Yep.
Oh god, is it going to be this hard?
I just look for a quick one.
I know.
If we weren't Gen X, it'd be hard.
That's true. You
'Cause
know,
all these things existed before
Bill
the
Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
You know, here's the thing: we remember him, but he's been unpersoned long enough that like younger generations will have no idea
That's
who
true.
he is.
He was
They don't even
role
show
model.
They don't show like the Cosby Show is
Why?
like, gone from television. Now.
Why?
I don't know. A special glass of wine to discuss this about. Oh yeah, the Puddin' Pops. You know what else you can't find? You know what? They never play Leonard Part 6 anymore, which is disappointing. Does no one remember that
I
movie?
have no idea what you're talking about.
I remember the movie. It just
Leonard
didn't
Part
long.
6. Yeah. It was a terrible movie. Like, for as much as he was popular on television, Bill Cosby failed hard when he tried to be a movie star.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Like you haven't seen Ghost Dad.
I have seen Ghost Dad. It did not make money. All right. What do we got here?
Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne
Thigh
Summers
Master.
is the
Thigh Master.
spokesperson for which exercise?
Oh, I
product?
didn't even read the question. I was guessing the picture.
The Y
Thigh
Master.
Master, if I
The Thigh
remember right.
Master.
The Y Master.
Which is funny
Thigh.
because Matt is trying to guess her name when it's
It is
right there.
Yeah, I see it now. Ooh, look at me. I can read.
Challenger.
Challenger.
Yep.
That's what happens when you let the woman drive.
She was from Northern Virginia. And so we have like schools named after McCullough elementary schools and all around. Do you remember how like they parked you in front of the television because
Yeah.
a school teacher was going up?
I don't remember.
So we all watched this live.
We all watched it.
What year
happen
was
live.
it?
1986 or 87.
Oh yeah, dude. I was barely nothing.
All right. Well, me and Brahma, I'm sure Slender might remember it. Imp,
I was
you remember
years away
it.
from school.
Oh,
I
I
remember
remember
it
that.
well. I
Yeah,
remember it
because
very well.
so Krista McCullough was like the was the school teacher who was selected from the nationwide pool to be the average school teacher astronaut to go up on the Challenger. And so that there was such a big deal. It was tied into all the schools. They wheeled in, if you remember, when they strapped down the CRT TVs on those big stands and they wheeled them in.
The TV carts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wheeled them in. They plugged it in. It was on TV, watching it live. You see the space shuttle go up. It separates, and then you see the little boom, and it's just like what? And then the teachers are all like, "Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!"
Everybody learned a hard lesson about life that day.
Yep. Teachers. And there hasn't been a teacher to space since because they learned their lesson. Well, they're just not capable. Look what happened.
So Eric over here, Gen X had Challenger, Centennials had 9/11, and then us in the middle had both. We got this as an elementary school kids.
Yeah, I was still in school for 9/11.
and then at 9/11 I was in college, and oh man, it shut down. I was in a college in Virginia, which was 50 miles from DC, so we were all like, so it was just ridiculous.
Well, and I had classmates from elementary school when I was up in Denver that were high schoolers at Columbine too.
Oh,
So,
okay.
got
I
to
remember
deal with
9/11
that one
because
close to home too.
Yeah, 9/11. We all got sent home, and I remember taking a nap on the couch. That's the most I remember of 9/11.
I feel like you might have
I had it
missed
playing.
things.
You were traumatized, were you?
It was playing, so I took a nap.
I went up to the bar. We had a bar in our office. I went up to the bar, watched it on TV, and had a few drinks.
I was getting ready for my college course in astronomy, and they refused to cancel the class that morning because they would want us to go on with astronomy.
Interesting
Like
choice.
you got to learn the traits of a Leo.
I was not astrology, but I had gotten my first new car that summer. It was a 2001 Honda Civic. It was a 2-door coupe, very nice. And I was due for my first oil change. I made the appointment because I had with the dealership you got your oil changes included. So they were like, oh, September 11th, 8 a.m. I was like, okay, it's before my classes at school. I'll just go take it in. I take it in. This is before we had smartphones. So you're just sitting around watching, reading the magazines or watching whatever's on, like whatever the TV was. And look, I was in college. It
really got me.
My first car was a Honda Civic too. So was my second car.
Mine was an
I
F-150.
in school, and I was taking night classes, so I was sleeping till like 1 in the afternoon, and then I'd get up and I'd head into the base to go do the classes, and there was a lot of traffic that day.
Yeah. Was it was that Norfolk or was that
that was over in Great Mistakes,
nice,
Illinois. So, but yeah, like I've spent 4 hours in a giant sea of cars waiting to get on base. They turned me around and told me to go home and said they'd call us. Went back home, got the call a few hours later. Okay, come back in. They got me in, and I was sitting in traffic wondering what the fuck was going on, and I looked down at my phone and I'm like, holy shit, I have 13 voicemails. And it was like all my family calling to ask if I was okay. I was like,
I like how we paused the stream on the explosion of the Challenger.
Yeah. Also, by the way, remember when Chad said, "Oh, this is gonna be a quick one"?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Sure.
It's 5 minutes. We're sharing important anecdotes. Not all of us went home and took a nap on 9/11.
Did you hear what he said?
No, not really. No.
Anecdotes.
I'm gonna give a little bit of Imp's DMs.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna violate his DMs.
Spill that tea.
I know exactly which one you're going to use too, and yeah, go right ahead because if he did that, then it fits.
Did I say anecdote?
Keep the show tonight lean and mean, we should be able to get into something for a bit after. But that's the rub. Keeping it lean and mean with Anecdote Boy.
Whoa! Antidote Boy.
Anecdote.
Yeah, antidote.
I for one
resemble that statement.
No,
yes,
I don't think
it
was very nice for you to talk about Mad that way.
Wait, who's the antidote boy?
Anecdote
Chad.
Boy would probably be you, man.
Well, he just said Chad.
Well, that's because he doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Because now he
No,
knows you'll be upset.
Mine aren't antidotes. They're stories.
Oh, yours are
Josh
more
Hammond.
terrible.
That sounds gay.
Mad is a record.
What were you guys going to get up to after the stream?
Yeah.
He wants to do game testing.
No, I didn't say no. I just want a game. I didn't say anything about doing any testing.
Well,
We can
I'm
do that
still
over the
waiting on you
weekend.
to help me with mods.
I told you
And the
I
new
had to
Path
work
of
testing.
Exile
I'll help you over
update
the
came
weekend.
out, so new season.
Yeah, that they really got their finger on the pulse of what's cool nowadays, putting Jay and Silent Bob skins in there.
Into what? What are we talking about?
New COD season.
No, I said Path
who
of
gives
Exile.
a shit?
New season.
Oh well, yeah, there's that too.
Came out today.
Now that I give a shit about.
All right, we'll keep going. Move on. We'll see
Anyways,
where anecdotes
teachers
go
suck.
next.
I think is what we took away from it.
Yep.
At space.
It's sad. The Challenger is the
name
one.
your spaceship that's gonna fly up into the heavens. The Challenger.
It's sad because the Challenger is the one space shuttle that's not on display anywhere. It sucks.
Did
they call it the Challenger?
Oh, you're challenging me.
Yeah, I was going with the same thing.
Look at
you
that!
we
It
go
blew
on.
up.
Thriller.
By the way,
Mikey,
Prodigy
it's
has a
Thriller.
great cover of the song Thriller.
Prodigy did a cover of Thriller.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna have to look
fucking
that up.
phenomenal. It's
All
there's
right.
no-
Berenstein Bears.
no,
All right.
no,
How are we
Bears.
pronouncing it?
Berenstein.
I always
Wait,
thought it was
Bernstein.
Bernstein, but apparently I'm in a different dimension now.
yeah,
and
you're in
it's
a different
Bernstein.
time.
Because look down there, Stan and Jan Berenstain.
That's never how it was spelt.
Nope.
No way.
I still don't believe it. I still
Berenstain
don't believe
Bears.
it.
That's
Still don't
some
believe it.
Mandela effect shit right there.
No, they have. Look right there on the cover. That's the same. These
I
books.
don't care.
You can
I
find
remember
them at
as
yard sales.
Berenstain, but I don't remember that spelling. It's the other way around.
Wait, Chad, are you saying that it's always been Berenstain Bears for you?
Yes.
So
He's
we
the
got
one from-
sucked into your shitty timeline.
Wow, way to go, Chad.
Yeah.
Way to
Antidote
fuck
boy.
it up for the rest of us. We were in the best timeline.
Lily of the Fox Valley, they're not Germans.
They were on our timeline.
They wore the armbands and everything.
To press play.
Oh, I'm gonna have to cut
That
that,
was
too
good.
short.
Fleetwood
The
Mac.
Fijis.
What did you say?
What happened?
Fugees.
Oh, the
Is that
Fugees.
guy?
There you go.
I didn't realize that
It's
Bradley
Journey.
Cooper was in a '70s band.
It's
Look at the guy on the
Journey.
right.
Didn't
That's
some
Lindsey
guy
Buckingham.
in this band
Lindsey
write a
Buck-
song about cheating with one of the other bandmates?
They
'Cause they were
all
cheating.
Are you
cheated on
thinking-
each other at all
No,
times.
Are you thinking of Layla? The song
No,
Layla?
Wait, no,
They were
look
all-
at
this was the same thing. They were
look at
all-
the chick on the left-hand side, how she is staring at them like, this bitch, that should be my man.
She's
Christy
like, I want to
McVie?
run my fingers through that afro.
Well, both of the
Even though
women
it's
slept-
cultural appropriation, and this
both-
was before
both-
cultural appropriation was a thing.
both of the women slept with the drummer in the middle. Not at the same time, though. I have to say.
That's because he's the tallest.
And he was in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He
That's
was?
right. Mick Fleetwood.
Yeah, Mick Fleetwood was the guy that kind of ran the, what was it, the TV tower at the center
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
that he had to get all the information to.
Interesting. I know they're doing the remake of it, which will be coming out next year, I think. I still say the guy on the right looks like Bradley Cooper from
I can see it.
American Hustle when he had the like fro going on.
Berlin
The
Wall.
Berlin
coming
Wall.
down.
Wall coming down.
Down. Mr.
Gorbachev,
Gorbachev,
tear
tear
down this
down this
wall.
wall.
Tear down this wall.
It's funny.
By the way, it looks
know
like they
all
could
these.
they could have got around it the whole time. Look at that. Why didn't they just
There's a
go
huge
around it?
gap in it.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny how that seemed to happen all at once there. Mad.
Oh, it's Sabotage by
Oh,
Beastie Boys.
Sabotage.
I know. I was like, this has to be
Fucking-
Mad's answer.
Yeah,
right
it can
here.
work in any movie, in any trailer, for anything.
You even put it in Paddington, right? And
Yeah, Paddington. The
Schindler's
the
List.
Passion of Christ.
The A-Team.
Lincoln.
Dun, 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 dun.
When did they
I
add a
love it when
chick
plans
to the
come
18 one?
together.
That was like later seasons.
Mm.
All right, real quick. Can you name the members?
Mr. T, Face.
B.A. Baracus.
Hannibal, B.A.
Oh yeah, I said
Murdoch.
Mr. T.
Yep.
and Face.
Yep. There you
And some bint.
Yeah, I feel like I must be Gen X because I've known all the answers to this.
I want this
Well,
was
so have
also
I, and I'm not.
Polaroid.
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 That's how you gotta shake
it
your
like
ass.
a Polaroid picture.
Uh-oh, Shifty says that's the
Whoa.
most overrated Beastie Boys
Whoa,
song.
ho, ho. I don't think it's rated highly enough.
Shots fired. Mad uses Sabotage for everything.
I mean,
it
I
can
still
work for
like
everything.
Intergalactic Planetary, but that's me.
What candy product is this commercial promoting?
Mentos. The fresh
Mentos
Yeah, I had no clue.
freshness. You can see her like
No clue.
because in the end, remember they flashed to her taking one and smiling and holding the Mentos package.
I know the song,
the-
you know.
Plus, the Foo Fighters
The
made
Foo
fun of
Fighters.
this in their music video.
Oh, life.
Mentos. What happened to Mentos? Do they still make it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think they do, don't they? Yeah, I think so.
Nobody actually eats Mentos. They just mix it with Diet Coke.
I mean,
It does
eating
make an
Mentos was
explosive
like
reaction.
eating Tums. It was more like
They
an
were-
antacid than it was a candy.
Tums
Or a
tasted
mint.
better than Mentos, and Tums made my tummy feel better. So Mentos just sucked.
What was the name of this dating show?
Blind date.
No,
Is it not
No.
singled out?
no, this was the Fox one.
I don't have any idea because I didn't watch this
No,
kind of
Maybe
shit.
it, maybe it was Blind Date. Because
It's the guy
There
sitting
was
on
only
the
one
couch, and then there's
show.
the chick behind the like curtain to the side, I think.
Well, we can't see that.
Yeah, there was only
You
one
can see that
show
there's
I
two guys sitting on the
regularly
couch.
watched back in the
That's
80s,
every
and
dating
that
show.
was The Price is Right.
you didn't like Supermarket Sweep.
Maybe it's heart to heart.
No, I like The Price is Right.
Don't think that was a
Bob,
dating thing.
Bob Barker reminding me
Heart
to
to
have
heart.
my pets spayed or neutered.
Oh, it was
And
not.
the
Price
people
is
that-
Wrong.
I was just stealing it
Bitch.
from chat.
Studs. The name of the show was Studs.
Never heard of it.
It was definitely
Never
a
heard
Fox
of it.
show. It's 100% a show that was on Fox.
Feels like it's showing the channel creators. That's me in the corner. Losing My Religion.
Losing My
REM.
Religion by REM. Yep.
I had no clue.
It's starting to look like we're seeing some of this channel creators' biases towards gay things.
A little bit.
Wait, what's gay about
REM.
Hold on.
YMCA.
Right as you
YMCA?
say, right as you
Must be
say that,
YMCA.
this is what comes up. What's gay
yeah.
about this channel? Why?
It's weird how this picture is gayer than the last one.
I think this guy might be a frogget.
That was a good callback.
How can Trump be anti-LGBT when his favorite song is YMCA? Or are we going to go down to what is it? The what was the
Love
from the
Shack?
Police Academy? The name of the nightclub that they ended up sending the
Blue
dudes
Oyster?
to every
Was it
the
the
Blue
Blue
Oyster. Yeah, Mads Vegas crew. Is this the Vegas thing you were talking about?
Courtney Cox. Oh, Friends.
Before Friends.
Oh,
There was a show called Before Friends.
Master of the Universe.
That
A
wasn't
sitcom,
a show.
man.
A sitcom.
Party of
She was-
Five.
What the cats say.
I think she was she on Family Ties for like
I think so.
hot second?
She was one of the girlfriends.
Yeah. Shifty says Family Ties as well.
She
so
was
I
also
think-
in Springsteen music videos.
Yeah, I think she was.
Dancing in the Dark.
Hang
Dancing in
on,
the
we
Dark.
had new lore. New
Nut Push
bad
Club.
take. The gay bar near my college was called the Nut Bush Club.
I think one of those things shouldn't belong if it's the gay bar.
Wait, what? What shouldn't
Bush.
belong? Club?
Yeah, do your nuts not have a bush?
One. No, I
All
have.
genders have a bush.
Yeah, but that's a
I have a
colloquial
Manscaped.
reference for a female part.
Colloquial, huh?
Pie.
Do you not remember in was it Revenge of the Nerds 2?
We got Bush. We got Bush.
Yeah, that wasn't about dudes.
You could get that off a dude.
Yeah,
It was.
I
never
watched
used in
a
reference
Dolph
to a dude.
Lundgren movie last night called Jill Rips. It was a banana movie, but yeah, you got to see his bush.
Oh, good.
It was sticking out of his underwear
What
when
movie
he
was
was
that? So that I can make sure to never
Jill
watch it?
Rips. No. It's cool. He had to go undercover. He wasn't a cop though, into the S&M world. So
Definitely never watching that.
Oh,
Atari
that's the RE
2600.
2600.
2600.
I had one of those.
The most beautiful wood grain paneled arcade system ever made.
Dude, I miss fake wood on consoles.
My favorite part is it had the switch for color and black and white because you actually
Glycerine. Sorry.
did. Yeah, I was like, does that work? It does. It flips it to black and white
Why would you ever want it to be black and white?
just to see if you could. Yeah, that's what I was.
So
Or
there
if
was
you were on a
nothing-
black and white TV.
There was nothing frogget about what I said, okay? It's a statement of fact. You get that on a dude too.
Get that on a dude.
Which dude?
So-
Any dude?
So, look, he's
Anyone in
in
particular?
he's in the Navy. He was in the Navy. He knows this. It's
That's true.
Oh, clever. That's so funny. And
I mean-
I've never heard that joke.
We had Bush in the army too.
Anna Nicole's Gap, right? Wasn't it Gap?
Yes.
Was it Gap?
Was it Gap jeans or was it Guess?
Yes.
Guess.
It was definitely a G, and I think it was the Guess.
Which is appropriate for when you're doing a quiz.
Oh, I thought they were blurring out her boobs, but it was just the word Guess.
21 Jump
Trump
Street.
No,
Street.
20. Yep.
And Matt
You know, it
knows
was
that
St. Elmo's.
My stepdaughter was in that show.
it is not Saint Elsewhere. Is that what you were going to say?
No, I thought Brahma was saying
I
St.
was going
Elmo's.
there, and then
St. Elmo's
noticed
Fire,
Johnny
the
Depp.
movie. It's
Yeah.
a movie. That wasn't a TV show.
They were saying elsewhere.
That was a medical drama.
I know. That's the one.
That's why I stopped saying the word
Yeah.
instead of finishing the title.
That's the one where it all took place in the
It's
head
in
of
the
an
mentally
autistic kid?
handicapped kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I
a
love that
snow
ending.
globe with the hospital, and they were all just characters in his head. Denzel Washington.
By the
Howie
way,
Mandel.
that kid was really accurate with his knowledge of medical
Medical procedures.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Good
Matt,
on him.
it's like the accountant. Sometimes they're very brilliant in other ways. They just
Oh,
can't
yeah.
communicate. By the way, who's really looking forward to Accountant 2
I
in
am.
a couple
Yeah, that'll
weeks?
be good,
I am.
yeah.
I want to see it.
Is this the last one? That's how they ended it?
That was it.
Apparently. Told you it wasn't.
That
But
was
luckily, that means we nailed the Gen X quiz, though.
Hey, we
So,
came in
much.
just a little bit over 2. That's good.
Yep. All right, let's. What do you got to promote? Slender.
We would have made it 2 hours if it wasn't for Anna.
Gaming. Ascendant Arcade. Go subscribe and watch stuff. We've been doing We Need to Go Deeper lately.
Nice. Mad.
Well,
Promotion?
AB, every Tuesday. No, nobody appreciated the AB for antidote point. Anyway, every Tuesday we do Mad Pap. This week on Tuesday at 9:15 p.m. Central, we're going to be talking about truck nuts
Nice.
and how those came to be.
Brahma.
Back to you, AB.
We got bourbon and boarding tomorrow night, and then the bullpen should return this Sunday morning.
Yep. If Comcast keeps their internets going.
Yeah.
70s. What do you got?
As Brian said, bourbon and boarding. On my channel on Monday, I'm just doing a gaming stream rather than a full panel show because I'm lazy. It's easy
What are
to
you
just
playing?
Baldur's Gate 3. I've been playing for the last few weeks, so
Oh, you've been streaming that? I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
check that out.
yeah, it's been quite good fun. Yeah,
Baldur's
fun.
Gate 3 is a really good fucking game.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I must remember to switch off the nudity mod so before I go live.
You should probably do that. Yes.
And I got some new videos up, and I'm only 5 away from 2,000 subs. So anybody that hasn't subbed to me, I would very much appreciate it.
And if you haven't subbed to us, please sub to us as you're
Yes,
watching our channel.
Definitely do that too.
Yeah.
And Mad's new channel.
And Mad's new channel.
Eric
And
Myers has a question for you, Mad, since you're in Texas. Are all the Whataburgers 24/7, or is it just certain
Well,
ones?
one is Whataburger. 2,
Whataburger.
that's not actually no. When I was in the Army, Brandon, myself, and a guy Lance, we went to this sorority party. It wasn't official because they weren't allowed to do it. But anyway, we went there. Long story short, I had to skip most of it. Brandon and I tried to go to the Whataburger next to the hotel, but it was the only one in Texas where the lobby was closed, but the drive-thru was open. So we tried to walk through, but side by side, simulating what a vehicle would be like. We were a little drunk. And
Then they tried to make engine noises like.
and then they called the cops on us. But luckily, the dude showed up and he was like, "You guys from Hood." We're like, "Cool." Anyway, he turned out to be a former scout too. So he put us in the car, drove us back through the drive-through, so we could actually get food, and then took us back to the hotel.
I was gonna ask. Oh, that's a bro right there.
Right? Yeah. And neither one of us would see 21 head on, not even close.
Oh, and Imp, do you have anything?
Nothing that wasn't already mentioned.
A Machiavelli production. The stream's now behind, but there's no need to be glum. We'll return with more jests, with humor to come. So click that damn subscribe and let the good vibes thrive. For the next grand stream, we'll surely jive.
Ascend and I, we've charted the spree with synapses sparking, hilarity you can't believe.
You brought your joy, so now you must go. But keep the party in your heart, yo. Keep the giggles, keep the banter, keep the screams delight. Until our next stream, keep the fun in sight. In this virtual voyage where streams do end,
Remember, with ascendant art, we'll always fucking ascend. Oops, we forgot about Imp. He's bound to reappear. With chaos in his wake, all we can do is persevere. Are you happy now, Imp?